Go to boot.dev and use code KINDAFUNNY to get 25% off your first year on the annual plan. If unwanted thoughts are taking over, don't wait to get help. Visit nocd.com to book a free call with their team. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/kindafunny.
If you want to get our shows ad-free and our exclusive shows, go to patreon.com/kindafunny.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kinda Funny Dadcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the father of Henry, Kevin Coelho.
What up, guys?
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Hey, pretty good.
Are you remote desktoping?
Yeah,
Even when we put you on a show, there's something you need to do for another show from your desk.
Yeah, just setting up Discord so that when we go to do gameplay stream, I can talk to them because I'll forget to do it otherwise, then I'll have to run in later.
Technology, man.
Yeah.
That's
how we
crazy.
do
From
it
your
over there.
phone. He's hacking the Matrix, Greg.
He is father of Sammy at Tim Geddes. Hello, Tim.
Look at us. The three of us.
Who would have thought?
Dads.
Not me. Not
There's
me.
a bunch of dads.
So just start here.
Hell.
So just start here with me then. Yeah, like, how is that sitting with you? Being
I-
dad now.
It's still as funny as it sounds.
Yeah,
It-
yeah.
What I love is seeing people, and obviously everybody, and the mamas want to meet Sammy.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So everyone's coming through.
He's the most popular
And-
baby in San Francisco.
That's what they're saying, man. It's record setting. Best Baby Blues. Like it's a attraction. But it's very funny because like it's not a surprise. Every single person that sees me that I've known in my life, all of them are like, this doesn't make sense. Like, I can't believe this. And I feel like that's true for everybody. I couldn't believe Kevin, couldn't believe you. Like, right. But there is something about me that like, I'm like, this is wild. Wild on E, as some would
Wild
say.
on E, as some would say.
Yeah.
You know, very dated Nick Scarpino
Yeah,
quote.
but no, I mean, it's funny. Like, speaking of Nick, there's been a couple times where I came to work during my paternity leave, and like Nick and I would go grab Starbucks or something, and like me and him hanging out, there's a different vibe to it. And I can tell that he's kind of nervous.
He's with an adult now. He's with
like,
an adult.
Whoa, you know what I mean? It's like the dynamic has shifted. I don't know in what way.
Yeah,
but it, like
yeah.
I do feel like
The hierarchy of power.
I feel different in a million different ways, right? But like it changes you.
100%.
It really changes you.
Sorry.
Crazy guy.
As I
Yeah,
sat down, I
100%.
remembered that this morning I had something I recorded that I wanted to play for you eventually. Barrett, I've sent you an audio thing, but we're not going to do it right away. Don't worry. Instead, I'll remind everybody this is the Kinda Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 3 friends gather around this table, coming to hang out and talk about whatever's going on in their lives. Of course, today's a very special dad cast here at Kinda Funny. Remember, of course, you should like, subscribe, share, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, twitch.tv/kindafunny, podcast services around the globe. No matter where you support us, please consider picking up the membership, of course. While you're here, though, why not get in your super chats for the dads? youtube.com/kindafunnygames. You can super chat to be part of the show as we go. And then, of course, thank you to our Patreon producers on patreon.com/kindafunny, Carl Jacobs and Omega Buster. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be topic of the show.
Don't do that to him. It's not prep for this.
It's not, no,
Don't do
Barrett doesn't do that. Barrett doesn't do that. Timothy Robert Geddes. The last time you were on
Tim
this
Bob.
show, you were not a father, and now you are a father.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start your journey?
I mean, I guess I'll start by saying it's the Han Solo thing. It's true. All of it. You know what I mean? Every single thing you've ever heard in your life about having kids, how hard it is, how wonderful it is,
Yeah.
how much you will not sleep. All of that is as true to the word as I could have ever imagined. Like, it's one of the most, I can't believe it's just what they said. You know what I mean? I feel like oftentimes it's like you hear what an experience is going to be like. You hear a review of a movie, you hear whatever, and then you experience it and you're just like, I kind of agree with this, but I don't agree with that. This is the thing where I'm just like, yeah, it is all of those things. And it's funny, I said word hard. Something that I keep trying to do is be accurate about it, where it's not hard, it's relentless.
That's
It just
Yep.
never stops.
Right.
What you're doing, it's like, all right. It's just,
This is
I guess
fine.
what makes it hard is that you're just very tired,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
because like you're just sleeping very little, very inconsistently. And even when you have the opportunity to sleep, it's just, it never feels, I'm not at the point yet that I'm just like, okay, like I believe that I'm going to have a normal sleep schedule at any point in my life. Having said that, I never really did.
Right?
Yeah.
So like I've been shocked at how many times that we see people and they're like, y'all seem very well rested and y'all don't seem like phased by this at all. And I'm like, I'm definitely taking that as a compliment. It also is just indictment on how poorly I treat myself normally, which Kev, I'm sure you can relate.
100%. I'm like, yeah, it's actually not that bad. I'm sleeping a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin's always exhausted, always up in the middle of the night working on some project.
And then on the other side, it's like for, how difficult that is. It's like, then there's the thing of everything you ever heard that as cliche and corny and all of it, it's like, it's just true. It's like seeing her smile. It's like, holy crap, it's the best thing that's ever happened. And it happens multiple times a day.
Yeah.
And it just is like hearing her laugh. It's like, oh my God, life is worth living.
But it's also crazy because it's like for a couple months, they don't know how to smile or laugh.
No.
And then suddenly they do it. And you're just like, that's my little dude doing that.
And that, I've heard both of you say this, but it's like, it really is that every single thing is her first time.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's her first time pooping. Like, I was there. Her first time.
That's a shirt.
Kind of.
First poop.
But it's like her first like this might be a slight exaggeration, but like her first time breathing. I mean, no, literally, I was there for the first time she breathed, and she didn't know how. And it's like it's just crazy that it's like seeing her start to look. Like sounds happen, and it's like, does she react to them or not? And it's my house, so there are
your house, your rules already. That's you're supposed to wait till like high school.
So much noise.
What that does mean is there is a Pomeranian named Moose that is very, very, very barky and loud at all times, and that has not changed. And then there's also this like loud, obnoxious giant child named me that likes to play music loud and likes to watch things at a certain volume level. And I'm not going crazy. Obviously, safety, I understand all that stuff. But I mean, this girl's been around music since day one and like constantly, you know what I mean? Like we're watching movies, we're playing games, like she's hearing all this stuff. And to see her just like not be phased, not care about it at all. But then now when Moose barks, she goes, and she just turns her head towards him. And I'm like, whoa, it's happening.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't wait for her to react to music. Because that's another thing that happens just one day. You start rocking out, and you're like, what's happening? You like this song? Yeah.
Wait, what's it that Henry likes? There was
Party Hard.
Party Hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Awesome.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's still the fact that Ben has inherited my ability to memorize lyrics. Probably because he has nothing else up there.
Yeah.
But like, he'll just start reciting a song somewhere, or he'll ask for a song by a very specific verse and chorus. I'm like, damn, okay, I know what you want. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
I mean, that's also like such a luxury that G and I have with this is that I've got to have all of my closest friends at this point kind of like experience this, and I've got to learn their journey from them. But like having Curran, all of you guys, it's like this like really nice cascade of ages where I've kind of seen the experience of watching Ben grow from a potato to this incredibly dope child, right? Like I am like in awe at Ben and like what he is capable of at this point, and seeing Henry go from in the year, right, this like potato to like now you see him, it's just like holy crap,
Just running around.
this kid's walking.
The spring break photos you guys put up.
Yeah.
Damn, Henry, hell yeah.
And
Go ahead.
you learn a sense of understanding. That's another thing that I'm a bit surprised by with myself, where you don't know until you know. And I will never experience a friend of mine having a kid the same again.
Sure.
There are so many things where I'm like, oh, wow, I really should have showed up more for this or this. Or really, little things go a long way or this. I mean, like, goddamn, Jen was the angel of a lifetime for us of just making sure that we were fed in that early time period. And all the classes we went to and stuff were like, hey, rely on your friends. They're going to ask you, can we help? Say yes. And like have them bring food so you don't need to worry about it or whatever. Jen was just like, fuck it, I got y'all. And this motherfucker, she would make us meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Greg would drive them to my house every day. And it hit a point that we had to be like, hey, we need to cool it. We can't keep up
enough,
with
guys.
this. And I'm like, damn, Greg, you're eating like this every day?
Yeah, you see one this
Fucking
big.
king shit,
You know what I
dude.
mean? Yeah, yeah.
Damn,
Jen's love
no.
language is cooking. So yeah. And
she
to
was
your,
amazing.
And to your point, I think, right, like you guys having this and then being on the other side of it, right, and knowing what it's like. For me, it was after Ben was born. Like, I think I'm pretty sure I didn't just think it. I'm pretty sure I actually apologized to Poe of like, damn, I should have been like reaching out on Jack's birthdays to you and congratulating you and done. But it's just like I'd see it on the phone or not totally blow past it since he's in Chicago and I'm here and I even think I'm like, yeah, Poe was a kid. Yeah, it was Jack's birthday. You know what I mean? Like that's a big thing for Jack, not for me or Poe. You know what I mean? And then you're on the other side like, damn, fuck no, this was a whole experience / thing / it shakes your entire world and axis and changes your point of view.
It really was a thing of just like, oh man, like I had the same thing with Curran where like Jax, it's like me and Jax have a great relationship, but do we? Jax is Curran's son.
Yeah.
Who is very close age to Ben. Me and Ben have a great relationship, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like that also, I think, is even in the more recent years, which makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what are we even talking about here? But it's like, yeah, it definitely was like a brain chemistry thing for me where I'm just like, oh, wow, like you just don't know. And that's also not to say that anybody that doesn't have a kid needs to show up differently for people with kids. Because I think that everybody gets it. You know what I mean? Like there is this thing of like, you don't know. And like, yeah. So.
Yeah, of course. So I think we're jumping into this obviously and having a great time. Great podcast already, Kev. Happy you're here. But so for people who don't know, my son Ben is 4 going on 5 in October. Henry?
A year and a half.
Okay. And then, of course, when was Sammy born?
Samira is 12 weeks old today.
Hey!
So January 20th was her birthday. And yeah, 12 months is insane. Sorry, 12 weeks.
Weeks, yeah.
12
So
weeks.
insane. Yeah.
Did not sleep well last night.
Yeah.
2 nights ago, great. Last night, not so great.
Yeah, it happens. What happened?
Yeah. So, guys, there's a thing called a blowout.
Oh man, learning what a blowout is
And
sucks.
the moment you learn what a blowout is,
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it sounds like, but people are kind of saying it, and you're just like, all right. Like, everyone's like, oh, man, prepare for that. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. You can't prepare for it.
Yeah.
But a blowout is essentially when the diaper cannot contain content, right? And you hear this word so much. The amount of words that you hear that you're just like, what the fuck? Like, if I hear the goddamn words nipple confusion one more time, I swear to God, it's like you just hear crazy shit, right?
Yeah.
But blowout. And then here I am on my 8th diaper trip of being at Target, like buy him because he's
You gotta go to Costco.
It's a whole damn
Yeah.
It's a whole damn thing. They have this size, they don't have this
Right.
size. I got a little tiny girl, so it's like you need the newborn, not the one. It's a whole thing. But I'm looking at the diapers and I'm just like, the biggest tagline thing it has, blowout protection. I'm like, this is a scientific term. Like, this is the way that they're actually referring to this. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That woke you up in the middle of the night.
It did.
Yeah.
And it was my first blowout that was on the front, not the back.
Gotcha.
And it was
God.
like, that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So then talk to me about what it's like, I guess, both yesterday and today. Because it is that thing is you've left the nest. You've left like the protected area. Like those months of paternity leave were so crazy for me. Yeah, a different world. Jen and I talked about it of every day. All you had to do was get up, keep this thing alive, right?
Yeah.
That maybe not even feed yourself. Just keep this thing
Honestly,
alive.
yeah.
But here you are back into your reality.
Yeah, it's crazy because it definitely is. I mean, that was undeniably the longest run of my life that I was definitely doing what I was doing, but also not doing what I'm used to doing. Right?
Yeah.
You know, or having to adapt and change how I do things. And G and I have had an incredibly lucky early time with this. I know at any moment things are going to change, and I've seen it. It could change day to day, good and bad and whatever. So far, she's been awesome. And so far, she sleeps really well. She does what she needs to do. There just hasn't really been any of those type of problems and stuff. So that's kind of allowed G and I to work together, and I'm so happy. I have such an amazing partner, and we communicate so well that like we're able to kind of address our needs with each other and like really get to the core of like, is it cool if I go play games right now?
For sure.
You know, do you want to go hang out with your sister without the kid, or you know what I mean, like all that stuff. And we've just found a really, really good kind of balance of it all. And I think it also helps that, like, I'm a pretty simple guy at the end of the day. I maybe on a crazy Friday, I want to go to the movie theaters. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not like trying to do anything too nuts. But we've gotten to a point that when we first started to leave, there was a big question for me of really how much am I going to turn off the work? you know? Because like I love this. I love it here. I love hanging out with you guys. I love talking about all this stuff. I love the industries that we cover. Like, I can't turn that part of me off, right? Like,
You're still you, yeah.
Yeah, and then on top of that, I love Kind of Funny. I love the business of Kind of Funny. I love the deals. I love making it all work. I love looking at the schedule. It's like I love this shit. But I really was like making a concerted effort. I'm like, Tim, turn it the fuck off. Like, you need to commit to this paternity leave, lean the fuck in as much as possible, but at the same time, don't do it to the detriment of your own sanity.
Right.
Like,
Sure.
if
you enjoy that,
if there's a Nintendo Direct that I could be there for, I want to be there. You know, like that's passion. That's, you know what I mean? Like, I can't let this. Like,
we have a special job.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know, there's a balance. But I feel, all things considered, I did a really good job. I think I really, really, you know, leaned out as much as I possibly can without it being negatively, like, detrimental.
Yeah, hurting the business.
To everything. The business, our relationship, my relationship with my child, resentment, like all of that stuff, right? Like, you don't want any of that to happen. None of it did. The big question for me was, will I be able...
Fucking Nick. And the amount of times Nick would ask me a question, I would give him the answer, and then I would talk to you about something days later, like, yeah, Nick called me. I'm like, well, I gave him the answer.
I know.
Why is Nick calling you?
Nick just wanted to talk
Yeah,
to me.
he just
Nick
wanted to talk
misses
to
me
Tim.
so fucking much. It's hilarious.
Hasn't mentioned it once.
But the amount I could just tell the amount of excuses he'll have to call me. It's like, you didn't need you didn't need to do that. I love it. But the big question for me was Resident Evil Requiem. It was a late February game, and I was like, am I gonna have time to play it? Am I gonna have time to review it? And that happened, and I was very surprised.
Yeah.
And then I had time to, the last week, play Pragmata. I played Screamer. It's like, we kind of just found this thing where I'm like, wow,
You played Screamer? It's a great game. I played it on a wheel. It doesn't matter.
But anyways, this is a very long way of saying that, like, I am very happy with how the paternity leave went and how much I invested into our relationship as a family. Yeah. While simultaneously still being able to be me and, like, feel good about all that. So this transition back kind of just feels natural.
Yeah,
like, it feels really good. It's hard. Like, we're switching up a lot of the structure that we've had.
You've established roles and responsibilities, and now there's a new wrench to that one.
And now G still has a month off. And after that month is up, her job is going to, by month, transition to 1 day a week more and more and more in office.
Okay.
So it's like they kind of give her, like, it starts with just 1 day a week and then 2 days a week, something like that. So we need to figure out what that looks like, right? So there's a lot more responsibility on her right now. And this is a new phase that we're going to have to figure out the balance. And right now it's not working. like last night, very hard. The last 2 days, she's a zombie. Like, she's really going through it. And like, cool, we're going to have to stop and figure this out and come up with a new system.
Do you want Jen to cook for you?
No. I mean, well, just because I want the food, yes.
Yeah.
But, we're good with so much of that stuff. Like, and also we've had our lives down. So it's like,
Yeah. No, I mean, I remember, we still do that, obviously, responsibility sharing and figuring it out and having those real conversations, you know what I mean? Where the anxiety Jen felt and still feels to a degree, but we've worked to cut it down on dinner because she's working from home, right? She's picking up Ben. She obviously can cook dinner for her. And of course, Jen insists on making everything from scratch. So there's so much prep time, so much work.
Yeah.
When did she have to clock out? Like, the early days of me being back here and trying to figure that out and get into a rhythm of like, well, what does meal planning on the weekend look like? What are we working on together while we can to have that done? And even now, she still does the majority of it on her own because she wants to. But that's more where it shares to me of like, cool, I'm with Ben. I'm the one rolling with him back down to the park up to do this, figure it out while she can compartmentalize and do what she needs to do. I hope if she's watching, she agrees with that. Kevin Harvey, how has it been for you in terms of struggles of like you coming back to work and then of course Paula having quite the career?
I mean, it's we have the au pair, right? So I think that made that a lot easier. But like, it sucks of like, I'm like, she works from home.
What does that mean, Kev? For
What?
people that don't know.
Oh, an au pair?
Yeah.
So we have like a live-in nanny. She works like, I mean, she can work up to like 45 hours a week.
Okay.
She came from Mexico. And yeah, she's been with us for a year and a half now. But we took a really long time vetting her, and everything timed out perfectly. So she came when he was like 3 months old. So February, and it's been awesome. It's been awesome. We have an extra person in the house, so that's a little bit of a vibe that you have to like learn. You suddenly have a roommate again. It's like, oh, no more walking around in the underwear. That part's a bummer, but like, it's all gone smoothly and it's been great. It makes life really easy for like childcare stuff. But like, and then also Paula works from home. So it's like, I'm the only one that leaves most days. So it's just such a bummer to be like, all right, man, I'll see you later. Yeah. And like, he's now at a point where he's like, all right, dude, I see you later. He waves back, and it's just like,
does he flip out when you come home?
Yeah.
There's the Luke Combs song off Father and Sons called Front Door Famous. And it makes me cry every time because like, it's even come down now. Ben still obviously is excited to see me. Yeah. But like, those in that where you're at, and then a little bit further of him waiting at the window, and me walking up on the sidewalk, and him flipping out and running out to meet me. It's like, oh my god. Yeah.
Well, I have too many cars, so there's always like there's always a procedure that I have to do where I like have to back the car up into a space so that I can leave the other car for the au pair to like if she wants to go to the gym, she can take that car. Yeah, and like so it's always moving around. There's a lot of action. So he usually like someone will see it and like bring him. And then when I come out of the car, he's just like, and I'll wave at him and he'll just be like,
yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Obviously, it's a much, much, much smaller scale. But yesterday was the first time I had that experience. At all.
Oh yeah, right?
And just the smile she gave me wasn't like, who the fuck knows what it was from? It hit me hard. You know what I mean? It was like, god damn, dude. Like, it's glorious.
It's funny also like getting home and just being like, I'm so excited to see you. And just be like, oh, but I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, now I've got to hang out with you for a little bit. Mom's cooking or something. Yeah. And it's like, oh, God.
No. Yeah. Pulling it together. Pulling that together is always an interesting, especially early on, I think, when it's so much more on you to be the entertainment and do the thing and keep them going and take care of whatever it is. In this vein, your cars reminded me of it again, of like, how special it is to be a dad and have a kid and then share things with them. Like, obviously, we just came back from New York. We only went there because Ben said he wanted to go to New York for spring break, wanted to see the firehouse, and he wanted to see Spider-Man. And so, obviously, we rode in the Ecto one there. He loved that. It was, I have so many amazing videos. Incredible. Thank you, Nick, from Ecto One NJ. But today, I was parked in the garage, and we were walking up the stairs to get in it. And I was like, oh, and by the way, Ben, I parked the car like the Ecto One. And I could see he didn't process it. And I was like, okay. So we got to the garage door, and I knelt down and I went to YouTube and did the scene of the introduction to the Ecto One, right, where they come down the poles, but then in the movie the doors open and there's the license plate. Clean Up the Town by the Busboys is playing, car rips out, right? And so then I went to Spotify, put on that song, and the thing opened. As soon as it saw my license plate that says Ecto One, Ben goes, "Are you kidding me?" You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck yeah, Ben, get the car. We're going to put the song on. We tear out of this house. You know what I mean? Like, these little moments you get to have are so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
God, it's also like so exciting looking forward to those moments. Yeah. And being like, oh man, at some point we're gonna watch Ninja Turtles together. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. God, I mean, I'm just so excited, like, that she's gonna hang out with Henry. You know what I mean? And like, she hung out with Ben a little bit. She hung out with Henry too. Yeah. But it's like them when Henry and her are Ben's age. What's it gonna look like? Yeah. You know.
So I just went to Colorado for it was Paula's grandma's 90th birthday celebration.
Yeah.
And Paula has two cousins that just had babies. One is a month older, and the other one is 2 months younger.
Than Henry?
Okay. Yeah. So, like, this was the first time the three of them were hanging out together. Awesome. And then we have two older cousins. He has two older cousins that are, like, 3 and 5. So it was, like, these 5 kids that have never hung out before hanging, because everyone's, like, across the country. It was just so cool of, like, they're at an age where none of them want to play together, but they're all very excited to watch each other. Yeah. So it's just, they were all just, it was great.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's always those weird moments of, you know, having been in this industry so long and known so many people, and now, like, I'm not hiding names, people you would know, like Andrea and John Drake, right? Of like when Charlie gets to hang out with Ben on the rare occasion, they're chasing each other around Disneyland, and I'm sitting there like, this is insane. Like, you know what I mean? I think back to Andrea and us at VidCon whatever year, and I'm like, I never would have predicted this would be a possible outcome, let alone the other tangential people, you know, from the industry that I know that have then had their kids, they hang out with Ben at this weird thing. It's like such a cool, crazy moment of seeing it all come together and how it works. Yeah. Pretty incredible.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
Had to give her first ever entrance video, baby.
Oh no, I didn't know you were coming. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Kinda Funny stage for the first time, Samira Geddes, #1 baby blues in San Francisco, and Gia.
Number 4?
Hey, Gia. Hey, Sammy. How are you? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. What a cutie.
Look at her.
Oh, my gosh. And these shoes.
The beanie.
Oh, my God. You guys crushed it as always.
Oh, you have
She's
a matching
beautiful.
beanie?
Ah, look at this. I like where this is at. I like where this is at. Oh, is she going to join you on the couch now,
Thank
too?
you.
Oh, my gosh.
Hi,
baby
Samsters.
Sammy.
How you doing?
Oh, my gosh. You played that very well, Tim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, damn. I saw Joey go in there. You what?
Before the show, we were a little tight today on schedule stuff, so the boys are just like, "Hey, can we not do the chairs today?" I was like, "I'd really like to."
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No. I didn't even clock that. Oh my gosh, look at her.
Yeah, look at her little shoes.
Oh.
Yeah, you're matching head to toe. You guys are head to toe. Exactly.
She has a bomber jacket.
Yeah, she's got a necklace.
chain.
She's there.
I know.
She's ready to rock it. Oh my.
How you doing, Samsters? First time on the show.
How talkative are we? How goo-goo and
She
gaga
is
are
the
we?
yappiest little yapper of all
No surprise.
time.
Yeah,
No
I was gonna
surprise.
say, you know, that her parents.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm sure this will be a question that comes up at some point, so I'm just going to jump to
Please
it
do
now. Why did we name her Samira? There's a couple things that came together. Sorry, what?
I said Samira Weaving?
The Samara.
Is it?
Yeah, that's Samara. Yeah. She's great too, though.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Great name. But one of Curran's wife Shari's best friend is Samira. Like, her name's Samira Simone, and I've always thought that was like the prettiest name ever. Like, so cool. She goes by Mira, and I thought that was like a cool ass name too. And look at her.
The lights, man. This was Ben's #1 activity when we'd put him in the boppy on the kitchen table and he would just stare at our light fixtures.
It is so funny. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, little Sammy.
She's very like straight right now. But yeah, so I've always loved the name Samira. And when G and I were like kind of like working through baby names, like we've been together 11 years. So it's like we've had like notes of like potential names or whatever. So we combined the lists and we came up with a system of ranking every name from 1 to 4. 1 was hate it, 2 was don't like it, 3 was like it, 4 was love it. And we each gave our ranking, and
I love that you have a ranking list of like name possibilities.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, we did it because we wanted to make sure that we made a call. We didn't want to be like, there's a 3, it's okay, right? It's like we either like or don't like. And then we looked at all the ones that we gave at least 3 or 4s. Oh, hi. And then we
Binky is right by your.
What do you say?
I said her Binky.
Yeah,
there, yeah.
Oh, here we
Let's
go.
bank you up, okay? There you go.
Oh, that little baby cry.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, God, that stuff is right. That's like right in you.
But Samira was one of the only names we both gave 4s.
Nice.
And so it's like, okay, we're starting there. That's great. Then we looked into the like what does it mean? You know, is there any controversies? Is there any problems? Like that type of stuff, right?
Who's the worst Samira we can find?
Yeah, and we like it because it's a very pretty name, but it's not very popular. At least here, so that's very nice. And Gia's family's Lebanese, so it's like it's a name from there. So
Yeah.
it's Arabic. So like that makes a lot of sense because the like patriarch figure in Gia's family like spoke Arabic and like he was a big storyteller, lore keeper, I guess, of the family. So he's no longer with us, but it's like kind of a nice little like in honor of the legacy of their family, whatever. And also we both really like girls with boy names. Shout out to Joey Noel. So Sammy was like a cool thing, and I just love the versatility of the nicknames.
Sure.
With all of it, of like, you know, God, there's just so many things we can call this girl. Like obviously a very Samus themed intro there for her.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. But what really sealed the deal for us is what the name means in Arabic, which is evening conversationalist. And it's just like, well, there's a name.
It's like a podcast.
That fits me and G perfectly. It's that. And God, she has lived up to the name. She's just yapping at all times of the day and night. It's so funny. I love her.
Perfect. I know.
Isn't she just the best?
It's so much fun to dress them up.
It really is.
I love it.
And yeah, G's been doing a lot more of the dressing up at this point because everything I want her to wear is way too big. This bomber jacket, they don't make bomber jackets for kids until they're at least like 4 months. And I'm like, well, what's the
point of being alive?
Yeah, what's the point of being alive? And even the shoes, it's like, you know, these are they're a little big on her, but God, she looks cool though.
Yeah.
She sure does.
Yeah, last night for bedtime, you know, Ben picks his books to read. He gets 2, then we go potty, brush our teeth, then we get the 3rd. And his 3rd one he picked last night is this one that we didn't do an au pair, we did a nanny, and there was a group of nannies that are all friends. I know you guys know them. I'm explaining it. And so like on their final thing before he went to preschool, one of the other nannies who is like the nanny for his best friend Greta gave a book that was the collection of photos put together and like, you know, little descriptions of all these photos of him and Greta. And so he picked that last night to read. We've read it a billion times or whatever, or looked through it more than anything. But even looking through that, and you're just like, damn, Ben, this was 4 years ago, 3.5, 2, whatever it was. And I'm like, look at how different you are.
Yeah.
Like you are a person right now.
Straight
and that
up.
is a baby we dressed.
Yeah.
You are choosing your own clothes and putting them on, and you have opinions and like everything else. Whereas like this goes so fast.
I know.
And then it, not only does it go so fast, it is exponential. And I have the hardest time of when I think back to Ben as a baby, I can see it and I can picture it, but I still see Ben now as a baby then, and then you look at photos, I'm like, oh man, you were completely, you know, you look similar, obviously, but it's like crazy. You were a fucking different person.
Yeah.
I have
Sorry, Sam.
Google Home displays throughout my house.
I got Aura frames. What up?
Aura frames work a lot better. I don't want to get into the Google Home like being an awful ecosystem that I'm fully committed to.
Yeah.
But it automatically uploads any photos that I put of like certain people.
Yeah.
And it displays them. And it does a really good job rotating them. That's the one thing that like works fairly well. And it's just so weird because it's like, oh, there's a picture of Henry when he was 3 months old, and it's like he looks so completely different.
Yeah.
Like his head was round, like completely round, and now it's like become more oblong, and it's just like, wow, it's crazy. Like you don't notice that transition happen.
Yeah,
like you leave this baby phase. But like, yeah, just try to enjoy it as much as possible.
Yeah, man.
Have her on your chest and
Every chance
cuddle
I
as
get.
much as possible.
Those
Because like
naps.
in 6 months, there's just no more cuddling.
Yeah.
They get mobile, and then you have to wait a couple of years till they're down to cuddle again.
Yeah, Ben is big on cuddling now, to the point of laying on top of me, of course. And
That's
then
awesome.
Then he just wiggles around all the time. He's like, "Don't worry, I won't knee you in the penis." I'm like, "Thanks, Ben." Thank you.
I hate that like I visualized him whispering that in your ear.
That's how it is. He's on my fucking face going to bed. I'm gonna move, but I won't hit you in the penis.
That's so funny.
Thank you, Ben. Now, of course, I want to get to ads and keep talking, but before we do that, I do want to hear from Ben. Barrett, can you play the audio clip I sent you with no notice earlier at the start of the show?
No, he cannot.
I'm not sure if he's in. Oh, he's in there.
I see him moving. He's doing. Again, I gave him no prep on this. I completely forgot. I'm sorry, Barrett.
He's got it.
I know he does. Barrett's
Give
a
me
pro.
a sec.
Yeah, you're killing it.
While
You're
he does
killing it.
that, I'll also say like another thing with the name. We're like, we wanted it to pass the Starbucks test. Like,
Oh, yeah,
we go to a
the name's not
Starbucks,
wrong.
they're gonna get the name right. Like,
Yeah.
because too many of my friends, like, it's just like my friend Sherry Curran. Good lord, good luck, right? Curtis, it's like no. But we're like, you can't fuck up Samira. It's
Yeah.
impossible to fuck up
Well,
Samira.
I think
It's so-
Sam is like the easy one.
Samira?
Well, yeah. dude.
They did that day one, you said, right?
We go to Starbucks. We literally tried the test, and so far Starbucks
coffee right
passed
now,
the test. You're right. We passed the test at Starbucks. The hospital. There's this one hospital we have to keep going to, and we're not sure if it's everybody there, if it's just the same person over and over doing it. But every time she says Samira, and I'm like, Samira's not a fucking name. I'm sorry, it's just not a name. What are you talking about?
Do you understand?
I do understand. So Benny, I gave you homework overnight. What does Uncle Tim need to do to be a good daddy?
Bath. Bath.
Bath? What's that?
Bath time.
Bath time.
I repeat them if you don't speak
Washing their
toddler.
hands.
Yeah, okay. Washing baby Sammy's hands. Okay. What else makes a good daddy?
Reading books.
Reading books, okay.
Getting new toys.
Getting new toys, sure. Okay.
Picking flowers for her birthday.
Picking flowers for Sammy's birthday, that would be nice, yeah. What else should Uncle Tim do for baby Sammy?
Give her kisses.
Yeah.
And hugs.
Okay.
And drink the pee.
Drink the pee?
No.
Drink the pee,
What are things that Daddy and Mommy do that
Is
you
your
don't like?
son?
Drinking pee.
Drinking pee? We've never drank pee. This is the
pee is what he
misrepresentation of
means.
what's happening in our lives.
Hydrate, stay hydrated.
This interview's over.
Y'all
can cut it then.
Y'all can hear the Greg in there,
Yeah.
and it's not just what he's saying; it's how he
he's
says
got
it.
the delivery. He's got
Oh,
the delivery.
man.
Everybody, this is the Kind of Funny podcast. Of course, we couldn't do it without your support. If you love us and our children who desperately need your support, because if you don't support, what are we going to do with them? Tim probably could still go to the firehouse and drop his off, but mine would find his way home. Go on over to patreon.com/kindoffunny, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, Apple, Spotify, where you can get the Kind of Funny membership and get all of our shows ad-free, get items and all sorts of cool stuff, get your daily dose of me, Greg Miller, in a series we call Greg Way, and of course, get good karma for supporting Tim's baby. But right now, you're not using your benefits, so here's a word from our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by Boot.dev. If you're listening to this show, there's a solid chance you, 1, like video games, and 2, at some point in your life have been interested in learning software development. Boot.dev combines those things because they know the smartest way to learn is to never get bored. It takes your coding from beginner to expert the fun way through a hands-on RPG-like experience. If you're ready to put in the time it takes, just like Kevin is.
My favorite feature is that you could find a solution that works, but then afterwards you can hit solution and see the way that they were trying to teach you to do it. That's really cool.
With a curriculum designed for builders with gamers' sensibilities in mind, Boot.dev welcomes you to the most captivating way to learn to code. You can learn back-end web development from start to finish in Python, SQL, and Go. That's why you'll learn by doing the things you'll be actually doing at a job, building real projects. So go to Boot.dev and use code KINDOFUNNY to get 25% off your entire first year on the annual plan. There's no better time to give your coding dreams a chance, just like Kevin's doing. Again, go to Boot.dev and use code KINDOFUNNY to get 25% off your entire first year on the annual plan. This episode is brought to you by NoCD. You finally sit down to game, just you, your controller, and zero responsibilities, when your brain decides that's the perfect time to ask, did I say something offensive earlier and not realize it? And suddenly, relaxing and enjoying yourself is impossible. Instead, your brain grabs onto the thought and will not let it go. That kind of relentless thought spiral isn't just anxiety. It could actually be OCD. A condition that's way too misunderstood and way more common than most people realize. But it doesn't have to be that way, because OCD is highly treatable with the right kind of specialized therapy. OCD needs ERP, or exposure and response prevention, which is proven to be the most effective treatment. And that's where NoCD comes in. NoCD is the world's leading provider of OCD treatment, and it's covered by insurance for over 138 million Americans. All their licensed therapists specialize in ERP therapy and will help you learn to take the power away from intrusive thoughts in live face-to-face virtual sessions. If unwanted thoughts are taking over, don't wait to get help. Visit NoCD.com to book a free call with their team. That's NOCD.com. This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Picture this. It's late at night, you're scrolling through your feeds when all of a sudden you see it, that one product that you've been looking for. You click on the link, add to cart before finally hitting checkout. As you're filling in your address, you realize you don't have your card anywhere near you. Then you see it, that purple pay button that has all your information saved, making checking out as simple as a tap on your screen. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Heinz to brands just getting started. And what if I get stuck? Well, Shopify's always around to share advice with their award-winning 24/7 customer support. See less carts go abandoned and more sales go with Shopify and their Shop Pay button. Sign up for $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/kindafunny. Go to shopify.com/kindafunny. That's shopify.com/kindafunny.
And we're back, and sorry, we took the baby away.
She's gone.
You know what I mean? Not enough people picked up a membership. Science Dog Official Super Chats and says, welcome back, Tim. As a father of a nearly 3-year-old, I feel a lot of pressure and anxiety around my work. How do you guys deal with the anxiety that comes with parenthood, especially in this crazy global environment?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that there's a good positive answer to that. Like, a reality is like I didn't really want kids, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that I didn't want to bring kids into this world. Like, I don't have much faith in it, and it's very concerning to me.
Yeah.
And it does. I don't feel great about that. That's the honest truth. Not fun to hear. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that's true. I've gotten that question a lot on Greg Way of stuff like that, obviously, as we continue to talk about everything spiraling and this, that, the other. But I think, you know, what Jen and I find comfort in, and it's not ignoring the big picture, but it's trying to wrestle with being adults in a new era and a new time, if you will, because were things that much calmer when I was 3 years old or 4 years old and my parents were parents?
Yes.
Or was it? Yeah, I was. I know. But I mean, like, I think there was also, I was thinking about this the other day, just like thinking about how important the newspaper was and how how important the news was.
Think about how much slower the news was, too.
And that's my thing, right? Where it's like, we didn't know everyone's fucking opinion.
Yeah.
You know, you turn on anything and have a million people saying something, every both big and little thing being put out there. So you see all the horrors of the world rather than just the horrors that are happening for me growing up in Chicagoland. You know what I mean? And
but we are living in
unprecedented times. I'm not at all trying to brush this.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is what we found comfort in is our local community. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, you know, everyone knows how much you guys love the Bay. Everyone knows, I hope, how much me and Jen love San Francisco and have, you know, been part of the Bay for so long now. And it's like, our neighbors, what's going on in our neighborhood, what's going on with those families, what's going on at our school, like, you know, what we can do on that local level to do it and how great things are there and how great things been. Like, that's always the thing of like, what's the inspiration for not just quitting, right? Like, children are the future and I'm raising a good one and I'm trying my best here and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
It'll get sorted, right?
Of course.
Or it won't. I mean, that's honestly,
and that's
like,
just how life's gonna be.
That's my
That's Ben's problem,
right?
then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't worry about them. Matt Callie super chats and says, my daughter just turned 2. It is all worth it, and I love listening to how much you all love it. It is weird, the things that make me cry now. I talked about this on Greg Way as well today, where yesterday I started crying at the kitchen table because I was so happy. Because we were like talking about, it was Jen's birthday, obviously, and there's a lot of reflection, but then Ben brought up, I don't even know how it organically started, but Jen might have put it in his ear of like him one day moving away. And like, when we were in New York, there was a lot of talk about, oh, you could go to college. He liked New York so much. You go to college here, this, that, and the other.
Cool.
And me having this conversation with him of like, oh, well, yeah, but you know, like we'd always be a phone call away. Ben, he's like, what do you mean? And explaining of like, if you ever need us, and I'm getting choked up now, we would be there. You just have to call. I don't care how much it costs. You know, we'd be there kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I am a incredibly sensitive soul, and I'm very trigger happy with the tears. And I think that over my life, that's only gotten worse isn't the right way to put it, but become more and more true. You know, music cues will just set me off. Like watching video clips, like what I just like there's so much, and whether it's like it's not necessarily sad, it's just like whatever. Like there's something about the way that I'm in touch with like my emotions in that way that like really, really, really is. I'm constantly crying. I'm constantly tearing up, like hearing things, saying things, whatever. It's even worse now. In the last 12 weeks, somehow that's changed even more, where I'm just like, every single thing she does, I have to like, I haven't even really talked to G about this part, but it's like the amount of times I need to kind of like bite my tongue and like look away from G for a second, just because I'm like, I don't need to be crying right now.
Yeah.
I have no
She's
excuse.
such a good mom.
Doesn't need to deal with any of this. You know what I mean? But it's like, here I am, like,
for sure.
on the brink of an explosion of tears. And it's like, nothing's happening. It's just G being a good mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's exciting though.
Yeah,
right?
right,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all found that right in our partners or whatever, and like that escalation, that level up of love, of seeing them as a mother now to someone and seeing how they are as a parent. You know what I mean? And be like, oh man, I picked the right one. I know, like, for all of us, right? But seeing them interact and like, Jen doesn't get it either, right? Where I just can sit there and watch her and be like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Let alone.
It's because they both had good moms, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Another super chat here. This one comes from David. I went on paternity leave the week Final Fantasy VII Rebirth came out. Was glorious to play it all. Was it glorious to play it all as my daughter Zelda slept on my lap? Best experience of my life. Yes.
Love that. Yeah, my boy Vince played Expedition 33 on his PlayStation Portal with his kid Milo on his lap, and he's like, dude, like I loved that game, but do I love it even more because of that? He's like, I'll never be able to separate those moments.
You and him, and y'all got good games. I played Far Cry 6. I platinum Far Cry 6. I'd be like, all right, now run, get in the little helicopter, fly to the base, kill a bunch of people.
I couldn't figure out how to play games with him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For us, I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was just so like enraptured in the like, oh, man, I'm with you, that it's just like the time flew by. And like,
yeah. For us, I mean, I don't even think about the video game thing. Jen and I joke all the time about Sopranos, where that was when we watched that Saints of Newark movie. And neither of us had watched Sopranos all the way through. And even though Roger hates that movie, and it wasn't good, it was still like, that was entertaining enough. Do you want to start the Sopranos? Sure. And so I was like, bending the boppy away from the TV, obviously. Woke up this morning. In and out of consciousness the entire time as we just watched the show.
Yeah,
that's another thing of enjoy the time right now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, depending on how screen free you want to be, of like, there's a moment where they realize, oh, I can look at that, you know, and it's like, oh, well, no more TV while you're awake.
That has been like the toughest thing recently for me, of like, the phone is such trash. I know it's trash time. I know I don't want to, but when Ben's watching a cartoon, I can't break out my Switch or my ROG, because if I do that, he's like, well, I get to play too then, right? So it's like, I'm just watching or reading something that doesn't, you know what I mean? But it's like, I want to go put time into some game, but I can't do it, because even on the plane ride back from New York, where he called me on my shit, he started to settle in to take his nap in between me and Jen, and he's like, whoa. And he literally goes, if you play video games, I play video games. And I was like, oh. Put it down. Wait for him to drift off, pick it up quietly, and play next to him.
Yeah. It's that's gonna suck. It's really gonna suck. I am lucky that with my house we have the theater downstairs, and so it's like I can get away if necessary.
Oh yeah, we can all get away.
That's the thing. You don't want to get away.
Some of my friends can't. Like some of my friends have house situations where it's just like, you know, they don't have the space. So I'm like, I'm very grateful that.
For me, I'm more now the new dread, which is too far. It's taking it too far. But is when he's gonna stay up later. You know what I mean? Because right now I got a good thing going of like, you know, 6:15, 6:30, it's bath time, and then we're into reading, and then. If a great night, 7:30, he's asleep. Usually it's more of an 8 o'clock. Catch up with Jen for an hour or whatever. Maybe even watch something together. And then I get to go downstairs or play next to Jen or whatever. And when he starts staying up till 8, 9, that's when it's going to be like, what are we doing? Like, how are we negotiating what used to just be weekend games? So like, we're doing it all. What do we do? We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's so funny. I mean, you know, G and I are very big TV people. Her way more so than me. Even like, G, if there's a TV show, G's seen it all. She's insane. And I don't understand it, but like, she's always has TV on. But there's a lot of stuff we watch together, and it's like I'd say a pretty even split between like good prestige stuff and just utter trash housewives, right? But like the amount of Lisa Barlow that this girl has heard, y'all don't know who Lisa Barlow is. You don't need to know. But I think about that a lot. I'm like, goddamn, no human being should hear this much Lisa Barlow, let alone my 3-month-old child. Here we are.
Frolicious super chats and says, if you're willing to share, how has Cool Greg taken up being an uncle? I know for me, it changed my life on wanting children as I helped raise them.
Yeah, I mean, Cool Greg gets along with her really well. He's Cool Greg, so he stays to himself. He lives his life the way he lives his life, and I've seen him really take on Tori,
my niece,
Kevin's official niece, my niece by association, and like, Tio Greg is like, they are just best friends, and she's a little older too. Like she's like a year older than Ben.
I think she's the same age.
Yeah, I think
she's gonna turn 5 this year.
She's a real person, right? So it's like I think that them getting along that way is like amazing. He's always sending me videos of them, and I can just see the future of him and Sam. Right now, he's intimidated.
Right.
Cool Greg reminds me so much of how Joey talked when we were having Ben. Where Joey was like, I will be a great Auntie Joey at about 2.5.
Yeah.
3. And because Cool Greg is such a great uncle to Ben.
Yeah.
Uncle Cool Greg FaceTimes him from the conventions he's at to show the Hot Wheels so Ben can pick it.
Yeah.
When Cool Greg comes over for Christmas Eve, it's him and Ben. He brought that spray paint Crayola airbrush that Ben adores. Like Cool Greg got for Christmas this year. Cool Greg got Ben a subscription to Thrasher magazine.
I love it.
Like
nice.
it's like they are like cool. They are
It's great.
fast friends. And
Yeah.
like, that'll be the huge for her.
Yeah, it's awesome. Now, this is not the question you asked, but it is how family members deal with this new addition. I gotta talk about Moose and Toretto
Yes.
because it is freaking hilarious. So, quick little thing: 2 Pomeranians, Moose, Toretto. Their personalities could not be more different. They are brothers, straight up. They absolutely love each other from the first moment. They've gotten along perfectly. They fit their roles of little brother, big brother, like exactly how you would imagine. Tangent story on this that's just random. We did the little like pet DNA test things on them.
Yeah.
And like turns out they're actually related. Like they're the equivalent of what cousins would be, which is
awesome.
hilarious. Even though we got them in 2 completely different spots. But what we just learned recently that's even more insane is you get things called pup dates where you'll just get notified like a new family member and like it'll like show you a little picture and like a bio. We got one that was like Toretto has a new family member that's as close as a direct brother.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, that's cool. And you don't get that much information, but it was like, okay, dog name, Truffle, owner, Max. And I'm like, Max Scoville lives in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
That's a Pomeranian named Truffle.
Yeah.
Turns out they are related.
That's crazy because Truffle is humongous.
Truffle is the biggest
Truffle is
Pomeranian
so big.
in the world. And Toretto is the most like
Wait, so
weird
how do
dude.
they interact with Sammy?
So what's funny is Moose, very brash, always barking, diva, problems. It's just who he is. Toretto, scaredy cat, like
Terrified of it.
doesn't have a bark. He literally has a squawk. He's like wah wah. Like he's an idiot. Love him, cutest, most adorable, cuddly guy. Like he's scared of everybody, but like God, he loves us so much. And G was always like, oh my God, I can't wait for them to meet her. Like that's it's so exciting.
Yeah.
And she had her mind set that Moose and her were going to get along great because Moose tends to get along with, he's very social, tends to get along with the kids and all that stuff. And she was scared that Toretto was going to be like scared and not want to engage. I was like, that's not what's going to happen. And I was so right. Toretto will not leave her side. I don't think that we have a picture of her that he's not in. He's just, he loves her. He's with her forever. Moose hates it. Moose is the biggest, most jealous piece of shit. It's like, he's literally like, she's still here. He looks at me, he's like, you're allowing this in my house. And it's just like, now it's funny and they get along. He's fine. He's like warming up a little bit, but he wants to be the baby. He wants to be the star of the show. And it's like, you can kind of tell there's like some issues there. I was very concerned the first couple weeks. Like I love this little guy and he was depressed. Like it was the thing of like, it wasn't funny. It was like, oh shit. Like he really knows he's feeling replaced. And it was like, do you have to go to like a doggy therapy? Like I don't even know how to solve this, but I just loved him extra hard.
Attention.
I know. And and I really go out of my way to give him even more attention than I already do and want to. And it's been working. So just the dynamics between them is funny, but shout out to Toretto, man. He really like stepped up, grew up, and it's like he's less scared now. Like sounds will happen. and he's like defending her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As
Yeah,
opposed to like running
yeah.
away. It's like, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know, with Cole, right? Of obviously he's been along the whole ride, beat him here by about a year, but like you saw it, I think on I know you see Cole in the office every so often nowadays on shows, but on that Pizza Bets Gamescast, where when Ben came out to get the pizza, Cole ran into the room barking at all the guys on the panel he knew, but he needed to let them know that he was guarding Ben.
Yep.
This is what's up. Don't worry about it. And like Cole, like they have such an adorable relationship where I'll be in there reading books to Ben, and Cole will walk up as he always does, headbutts the door, like puts his head down, headbutts the door open, hops up,
So
lays
funny.
in Ben's arm, you know, the same way. And even last night when it was like, all right, time for bed, we all started, Ben's been asleep for hours. Cole went in there, thunk the door open, came in to check on him, came back out, climbed into bed with
So
us. Like
fucking
he's
funny.
on it, man. He's there.
Henry recently has like, for a while the dogs didn't care about him, and now Henry has decided it's a really fun game to go and pull their tails. They're really cool, and they're just like, oh, we don't like it. But like his new thing is he really loves the cat, and like my cat's super antisocial.
Yeah.
Totally fine with him. Barrett, I sent you over a photo and assets of like Henry's favorite thing
Oh
is
my God.
pushing the
God.
cat down. He uses both hands to push him down, and then he lays on him. And the cat's just like, all right,
This
fine.
is happening.
Yeah.
This is happening, man.
That's a dope rug, by the way. That's a
Oh, yeah.
good
Really
upgrade.
nice
I
rug.
like that. But that's so funny.
I
I have a video I'd like to show.
sure,
if that's
please.
okay.
It's your show.
Just Barrett, in random, I sent a video a couple days ago of her making a lot of sounds
Oh yes, yes.
that
yes,
I'd
yes,
love
yes.
to hear or watch with the sound on, because one of my favorite things is, I mean, I will say at this point, like my favorite thing in life right now.
Where did you send this?
It's in random in assets from a couple days ago. It's just her laying in like the little crib thing.
In the snoo, yeah.
Yeah, so there's this like God's gift to mankind called the snoo that is like this like very fancy crib thing that like
Shout out to Heaviest Baby.
it's just
Yep.
amazing.
Thank you. That was
Yeah.
sent to when we were having Ben. We reached out and I said, "Will you send us a snoo? I'll talk about it on social media." And then I'm like, "It will be with Kind of Funny forever." And it's
Yeah.
been with Ben, Henry, and now Sammy.
Yeah, it's awesome. And so, anyways, we put her in this thing, and it's so funny because it like lightly just kind of like shakes her a little bit, and it plays sounds and stuff. My favorite thing is waking up in the morning, like seeing her. She smiles. She's so excited. You unzip her. She's essentially in a straitjacket, and you undo it, and she just goes. "Wow." Like it's the funniest like stretch, and her whole body stretch. She doesn't understand how to like use it all. I keep talking to Jenna, Gia's sister, about it, and like we just crack up over the stretch. And she's like, "I want to see it." She's never there because it's like 3 in the morning. But I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna film it tomorrow. I'm gonna film it." So I start recording her doing this, and for the first time, she doesn't do the big stretch. She does something else instead. Can we get audio for this?
Wow, everybody! Hold on, go wide. It's Traveler's father, Troy Baker. Oh my God, hello, Troy Baker. How are you, sir?
I was like, who's on camera? And I realized it was Kevin. I was like, he's not allowed on camera.
Well, you know, it's your first time in the studio. Things have changed. All right, don't worry
This is
about
my
it.
first time in the studio.
It's
Yeah,
wild.
yeah.
I was just talking about it this morning to Gia. You're one of the rare people now
Has done all of them?
that have done all
Done
three
them all.
studios.
I made a really bad joke about it, but I'm not going to say it again. I'll tell you off the air. It was a really good joke.
You came in at a
I
perfect
was like,
time.
as someone who hasn't done all of them,
Fucking Troy.
I'm here fucking 30 seconds.
Yeah, you 30
Hi.
seconds, man.
I heard what you guys were talking about, and there was absolutely no way I'm not going to join this conversation.
love it.
I love that.
Mainly because, I don't know if you know this, but we're responsible for this.
Honestly, it's not
Kinda-
true.
It's kind of, Pam and I, my wife,
My
some
wife.
of you have met, were there at our mutual friend's birthday.
What?
The birthday of their marriage. At their, what the fuck? At their wedding. Can we say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there was photos of him.
No. Yeah, there's it was documented. Barbara and Trevor's wedding, and we just got talking about kids, and I think especially Pam like really kind of like got some zhuzh over on Gia, was like, just do it. You were crying because you couldn't figure, like, I know theoretically how it's supposed to work.
It's gonna be tough though.
I had to show him on a doll. It got weird. We kissed barely.
Just a little. That was worth it.
That was
You
fun.
just warmed him up.
I haven't talked to you.
I mean, what is actually crazy? I think I texted you this. I don't remember. it was that weekend.
I thought it was that night, bro.
It might have been that night. You know what I mean? But like the conception
I'm just
happened
saying.
after that conversation with you, literally, which is hilarious.
Did you guys plan, like, we're like, we should do it here. Like, we should conceive our first child here.
Look, here's the thing. There's an argument, and it's hilarious that I'm talking about this on camera. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's more of a me thing. I will not allow myself to believe that she was conceived in Austin, Texas.
Dude, fair. Fair.
I am like, it happened the night before.
Dude, I hear
talked to
you.
It was in San Francisco.
Do you understand? Think about me. All that this is. We went to Paris. We went to London. We went to New York. We did all this traveling, and we're like, this is where we shall conceive our child. Alabama. And not even like good Alabama.
Traveler was conceived
I'm talking
in Alabama.
Next door to a Cracker Barrel at like a Comfort Inn. It was not. So I hear you.
Yeah, and shout out to Austin. I love Austin, by the way. Like,
Sure.
no shade to Austin.
All the
I
But
Texas.
just
fuck Alabama.
I just love San Francisco.
We're not walking
And not
that back.
Alabama. There's a large contingent of your audience that is from Alabama. I have no problem either. I love it. It's just funny. It's just ironic with it being me.
Yes, yes. But no, it's very funny that like that all happened. And it definitely was most likely that night.
We were watching. We were there.
You were cheering on the
I had tickets. I was like,
sidelines, giving the
I had
encouragement.
popcorn.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you discussed all of this, but what is I think I told you I hate to give advice, but there was some great.
You hate to give advice.
I do.
Every
I'm
time
not.
I've ever been with you, you give me some advice. Great advice.
You have given me
You
more
like
advice.
that's true. That is true.
Forbes 30 under 30.
I love it. I love it. You big up me so much, and it makes me feel so good. Every time I'm ever with Troy, with other people, he makes me sound like I'm the most impressive human being on the planet. But also, I believe it because I've had genuine conversations with you where you really make me feel you're one of the only people in life that I've given advice to that has listened to it. And I'm actually like, oh, wow, I gave good advice there.
Tim Getty's got a hold of me. We had our little foray into the internets. You should try it.
Do you make content on the internet?
Give it a shot. I don't know how you'll do, but Tim Getty's got a hold of me, and there's this side of this guy that you see, and then there's the side that I respect this. It's not that you're two-sided.
No.
It's just that there's a difference between, and this is what I learned about making content on the internet. There's a difference between authenticity and access. You are always authentic. Like you are always you. There's turned up Greg.
Sure.
But you're always you. There's not like a different version of yourself that really, if you knew Greg, there isn't. Same thing with me. I learned that through making content was like, oh, I have to be me, but that doesn't mean people have my address. That doesn't mean people know every thought that I have in my head, which I had the tendency to stupidly say.
You stopped doing that after you touched the stovetop a few times. You're like, you know what? I'm done with that.
I'm sure it'll be fine if I send that tweet. But Tim Getty's got a hold of me, and he was like, here's how you handle this. And you've done that from a business standpoint. You've done that from hey, let me tell you how to navigate these waters. And I will never forget that, man. You really, really helped me. But
meanwhile, I didn't like Indiana Jones. He screams it at me every fucking time. It doesn't matter where we are. It doesn't matter where we are.
Was it a 6?
I think it was a 6.5. I don't remember. Maybe a 6. I don't remember.
God damn it. I was like, when's the day that you and Greg stopped being friends? I'm like, I can tell you exactly when it was. I can tell
when did
you
that review embargo
the
live?
minute it's timestamped. God damn, we had fun at Dice, didn't we?
We did. That was a great time.
That was a fucking wow. That was a crazy, crazy night. Everybody thought that was a bit.
I know.
I was like 100% authentic, birth in the moment.
So good. Yeah.
You're
It
aware
was-
of this. You remember this. If you don't remember, everybody, I host the Dice Wars every year. I'm amazing. And every year they just go, all right, it's 8:00. We're starting. And people are always mingling in and whatever. So yeah, this year when me and Stella went out there, I calmed everybody down, but Troy was still languishing to his table with Pam. So we had a whole exchange where I yelled at him to sit
Yes.
down. And then an hour and a half later in the show, Troy got up to give an award, and when he was up there, I ran over to the producer. I'm like, "Turn on my mic. I'm going to run into the crowd." I ran into the crowd, and then when you started your second award, I got up and I just started talking to everybody. Like, "Oh, it's hard to do this, isn't it, Troy? It's hard to be on stage and have someone in the audience, isn't it, Troy?"
Pete Holmes years ago, actually the night that I met him, he was hosting the Dice Awards, and here's a comic who's played in every room, and he was like, "This is a hard room. Yeah. It's a really, really hard room. It's people that are either coming off of like a week of talking about their game, other games. They're either commiserating or they're celebrating. It's a hard room. And to get up there, you and Stella both getting up there and trying to wrangle a bunch of devs that feel awkward and everyone's 8th graders at the dance, you do a great job. It's really, really hard. But that was one of the funniest moments that people still talked about. It was great. Neil giving the commencement speech. What would you call that?
Well, inducting Evan.
Right, Evan Wells.
Into the hall.
Was one of the most authentic thing. Of course, you had the moment where we got to recognize Vincent Pella. But then one of the funny moments people kept talking about was how funny that was. Like, that was a funny bit. I was like, wasn't a bit. That was 100% organic.
That was real. And that can only happen because you guys know each other, and like Greg knows how to push your buttons.
Exactly. And that's kind of like exploitation of the best kind.
That's our friendship.
See?
Exploiting each other.
Our friendship. We exploit each other. I know you've covered all this. I'm just very curious. What has been the thing what has been your hardest challenge? What was with your daughter, the thing that's just like, this broke me?
I was saying this earlier.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Hard isn't a word that I think I need to use yet. Okay. Relentless is the word that I use. And I think that just dealing with that of just like trying to make sure that me and Gia are still me and Gia, like that is such a important thing to me. And like, I'm saying that like in terms of like I want to make sure that we don't lose ourselves. You know what I mean? And like,
can I consider for a second? You already have.
True.
There is the people that you were before, you shed those layers. And that is a beautiful thing. I am so thankful that I'm not the person that I was before I had Traveler. I'm thankful that I am. And tomorrow I will say the same thing about the version of myself today.
Totally.
There is a version of myself that I was before that did not understand what it meant to have the kind of purpose that I have now. Not to say that people who don't have kids don't have true purpose. I had a great purpose before, but there was an expiration date on that. And once I crossed the Rubicon of having Traveler, everything started pointing in a different direction. I still say I'm just as selfish as I was. I'm sure you're the same way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just as selfish as I was before. I'm just as active, if not more than I was before. I just want different things now. And everybody, I think, has that moment where they're like, I don't know if I can do this. And I tell Pam to this day, at my best, at my optimal, 100%, all cylinders firing, I will be 9 months behind you.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus, that's true.
She met him first.
It's wild. Like the bond that they have, Gia and Samira, it's like, it's a different ass thing. Now, there's also the side that me and her have a bond that is totally different that I see Gia, I don't say get jealous of, but envy. Like, you know, kind of look at it as just like, oh, wow, you have something different, right?
Yeah.
Like the way that she looks at me is different than the way she looks at Gia. And I just love it. I love when we all get to experience these different things. But I mean, you are so right. Like, pregnancy is the most insane thing that exists in the world.
It's bananas.
Yeah. I think
we are by far the weakest organism on this planet.
It's back to what we were talking about at the front, right? Of like, we didn't treat our friends who had kids like I'm talking about Poe or whatever, right? It's that idea of like, I think being conscious and becoming a person and hearing about pregnancy, I was like, it's the miracle of childbirth. Like, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, whatever. And then when you watch the person who means the most to you go through this change on the daily in their body, kick into gear of like what it's biologically supposed to do and how it changes and and it's like, this is insane. Let alone then the weight of that on your partner and on their psyche and on who they are and what that means, and to psych themselves up to give birth. Like, all the mothers are insanely cool.
I love the picture that you texted me. You were like, can you keep this under wraps? I was like, yeah. And then just the picture of you holding her for the first time.
I broke your embargo. I'm sorry, but just for
no,
Troy,
it's
just
fine,
for Troy.
it's fine.
You put it up on Instagram, and that is like my favorite photo of Tim ever taken.
It is
you in
so
tears
much.
holding her, but looking at
But
G.
looking at this
Yeah.
is like I did the crazy thing. I don't know if you did this, but I literally counted his fingers and toes. There was like a moment where and it was so funny. I was like, wow, I'm doing this so trite thing that means absolutely nothing. But I realized what I was really hoping was that please let the worst part of me stay with me and not pass on to him. Please there was all of the thing. And I realized that in that moment, it was like, I just want him to have more than I had and less of what I didn't want about myself.
Yeah.
And that continues to this day. I'm curious for you. I'm totally hijacking this show.
Chat's having a great time. I'm having a great time. We just have to get you out of here by 4 something, I remember, so it's fine.
Something like that. I don't know. Planes are weird.
We'll figure it out.
Was there a moment with you to where all of a sudden he went from Jen to like, talk more about you?
In terms of like who his favorite was kind
Not
of thing?
favorite, but
I'll tell you right now,
focus.
this weekend on Jen's birthday,
Yeah.
he was nice enough to say that Dad's my favorite. And I was like, Ben, shut up. What are you doing, Ben? And like, I'll have the pep talk with him in private of like, we got to be nice to Mom. You can be mean to me today. Don't be mean. You know what I mean? And he just doesn't see it because Jen and I have talked about this and I forget what the cutoff we might have read was back in the day when we were in your shoes. But like, for so long, the kid sees Mom as just an extension of them, right? Because they are, right? It's their flesh and blood there where that's been made over. So I still think that Ben takes Jen so much for granted because it's just Mom. That's what Mom does. Mom is you know what I mean? And so even as he wrestles with that kind of idea, like I am still his favorite right now. And it's that thing where it's like, we've done the thing on trips where you're like the fucking, what's the Waltons, right? Where they're all in bed saying goodnight to each other. Yeah. And it was like, he was like, I love you, Daddy. I'm like, I love you, Ben. And I'm like, I love you, Mommy. And Jen's like, I love you, Dad. Silence. Yeah. He's like, Ben, do you love Mom? He's like, oh, yeah, I love you, Mom.
Yeah, I love you
like,
too.
oh my God, dude. She carried you for 9 months. You both almost died in childbirth. Just say you love her.
Everyone feels differently about this. And again, this is unsolicited advice. Take it as you will. It's my experience. Before Traveler was born, I was like, so night 1, dude's in his own. We got him a great place. He's going to be in that place. And then he got here. And I couldn't. The other night we were sitting in bed, and spoiler, he will still for like a few nights at a time or a week at a time will just crash with us. And he's laying there, and man, he goes, "Is tonight the last sleepover?" Mm. And I remember Ryan Holiday was talking about this, where one night it will be the last whatever.
Yep.
It'll be the last good night. It'll be the last story. It'll be the last pillow fight. It'll be the last time he sleeps with us. And he was like, "Why would you rush to that?" And I looked at him and I was like, "If you want it to be, but you need to know this. You ever want to come in here, man?
Yeah,
you can." And I said, and I told him the same thing I'm telling you, which is the night that you were born, I couldn't imagine, before you were here, I was like, he's going to sleep in his own room. And I said, and then you got here, and I was like, I couldn't imagine you being any further than you are from me right now.
Yep.
And I want to encourage you, do whatever you feel is right. It's y'all's kid, right? Nobody else can tell you how to raise him or raise her. But I will say, don't let anyone tell you that it's bad for them to sleep with you.
Oh, I'm not worried about that.
Kick ass, dude. Yeah, it's fucking coolest. And Traveler and I right now are in this phase where he's like, you will love this. We turn into full WWE.
It's the best.
It's like, oh, I understand. Someone has called down the thunder. And you want to inflict the pain upon yourself. It's coming to you because I'm the Pillow King. And I will hurl this pill at you, this amalgamation of down and cotton and linen, and I will destroy you. And he's like, are you bringing me drinks? Are we? We can't.
Here we go.
We're just drinking pint glasses of Jack Daniels. Are we out of bourbon?
Have you not? Yeah, first of all, we're a little elevated from this. Now it's like, bring us a single malt. I was going to ask for a coffee. What the shit, guys?
You'll
You're
have a
here,
nice
your
Uber
family.
back. You'll have a great Gamescast we're recording today, talking a little bit about mouse and everything.
Let me tell you, but I'll tell you about The Last of Us Part 4 right now. So here's what we're going to do. Aliens, right? Oh, my God. I was having a moment, Andy. God damn it.
Andy, bring bourbon.
I'm so jealous of you guys. I just want to wrestle her so bad, and I just have to be so gentle with her.
Yeah.
And like, I push it, I do the voices, I get there, and she gives me the look. I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything. But we've been doing little like swim classes, which is hilarious. It's not swim class. It's you holding her and spinning around, singing to her in the water. But it's amazing.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I'm
Gonna
gonna
do
splash
this,
her a
right?
little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She's so good at it. There's gonna come a time that I'm tossing her around. And it's gonna be the best thing ever.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. I have that photo of me rock bottoming Ben in the pool in Montreal, and it's like, that's where it's at. Even now, I'm like, you want a sharpshooter, and then he'll roll over and he'll tap out.
What do you say to him?
Are you ready for a shot? Oh, you mean like
Hello, son.
You used to say something that
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
that
I
one
love
kid
you.
I tombstone pile drive. You want a rough house?
Yeah, you want a rough house?
You down to rough house?
Like Ben, down with a rough house. That's so funny.
old is he now?
You talking about
4 going on 5 in October.
So
How old's Traveler?
7, almost 8.
Oh my God!
That's
Wow,
insane. That's insane.
how did that happen?
Dude, it is bananas. He is an avid drawer. He's constantly drawing art and telling stories about it. He's making his own comics, which is amazing. He is learning piano. I'll send you a clip.
Yeah.
He the first thing he wanted to learn how to play was The Last of Us theme.
Oh man, that's cool.
Me sitting down and playing piano side by side with him. We're doing The Last of Us
Oh
theme.
my God.
Fucking just
I'm speaking of the music there, like you talking about the counting the fingers and stuff. Like, obviously, like the pregnancy process is very scary in a lot of ways. And you're constantly going to doctors and like doing ultrasounds and like learning so much shit, and like so much could go wrong at any moment. Thank God for us, it didn't. It's like things went so well, but there's these things you don't think about when you don't ever think you're going to have a kid, and then when you're like, okay, now I need to know everything about having a kid, and it's like, all right, the amount of fingers and toes matters, like, do their eyes work? Do their ears work? Can they breathe? Like all of these things where it's like, fuck, I can't overthink this or else I'm going to just spiral, but I couldn't stop thinking. And I want to be very clear, like, obviously there's so much about life that's amazing, even if you cannot hear or cannot see or whatever. So I do not want to take away from that experience. I want to be sensitive, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I understand. Yeah.
But I was so concerned about her being able to hear.
Oh,
I
dude.
couldn't get it out of my head. I was like, I would like, I'm not religious at all. I would pray that she could hear. I don't know why I was so scared about it. And I am going to tear up. I am going to cry right now. I'm just letting everybody know. The moment that the doctor came in after she was born and did the hearing test, it was like 5 minutes long. And they needed to get this, like, they would do something, play it in your ear, and you'd see it on the chart. And I asked her, I was like, what are we looking for? And she told me, and I just sat there just staring at it. And the moment I saw it go up, it was just like,
dude,
the biggest relief for me, because I can't imagine her not being able to experience music. Like, it was like, oh my God, like I just can't imagine. And again, I want to be sensitive about this, but a story that I treasure about my mom and dad, on the drive home from the hospital, they played Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. And it was the first song I ever heard. And I loved that song. And as growing up, they would tell me, this is your song, like whatever. And I know that, yeah, Sweet Child of Mine, okay, I'm sure it's a million people's song, right? But I felt like it was my song with my mom and dad, like, and I clearly don't remember driving home in the car when I was born, but they've told me that story so many times that I can
You
see.
feel like you do.
I feel like I was there. And us getting in the car, driving home for the first time, and me putting on Sweet Child of Mine, I will remember that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, dude.
And I hope that she will too. I hope that one day she feels like she was there.
I mean, it just comes down to telling those stories,
Yep.
right? And I think that's, again, like, it's funny to have this progression of the timeline, from Tim to me to you, of like being able to tell Ben those kind of things now and him understand it. You know what I mean? Where I was sitting there in bed after reading him his stories a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and I put my head on his chest, and I was listening to his heart. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm gonna listen to your heart. And he's like, why? And I'm like, it's my favorite sound in the world. You know what I mean? And he's like, and he said, what happens if my heart stops? I'm like, oh, well, you can get chest compressions. Or maybe he said my heart, and I was like, whatever. And then you chest compressions to restart it. And he's like, oh, and I'm like, you want to know a secret? And he's like, what? I'm like, you had that when you were born. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you came out and it wasn't working and they gave those to you. And that's why your heart means so much to me. You know what I mean? Because I looked at him, I said, that was the scariest moment of my life. Yeah, you know what I mean? When you didn't have a heartbeat, that happened. And he grabbed my face and said, I'm sorry, I scared you, Daddy. And hugged me. You know what I mean? And it's like, Jesus Christ.
Come on.
You know what I mean? The fact that he can now hit back on the emotions. You know what I mean? There, a couple other weeks ago, we were there and it was something to the fact of I started crying in the bed. He's like, why are you crying? Are you sad? And I'm like, it's bittersweet. And he goes, what? And I'm like, you're growing up so fast. You know what I mean? I said something and he hugged me and he goes, Daddy, I'm sorry for growing up so fast. I'm like, no. You don't have to. It's like, it's a nice thing. But it's like, damn, like I'm having these emotions and sharing them to you, but then you can give back on that.
Two things that pinged for me. Number one, working in reverse order. I never remember my dad apologizing. And that was something that I was like, I will model for Traveler. The reason why Ben apologized to you is because you have modeled to him that it's okay to apologize. It's strength, not weakness.
Yeah.
So I commend you for that. Secondly, for you, man, Traveler has surprised us. We'll laugh at this sometimes, but there have been times when Traveler has told us things that happened to him during his birth. There's no way we've ever A, told him, or B, that he would remember. And there's been stuff throughout his life, like 2 or 3. He's like, I remember that. And it's not like we've told him this story and he's recounting this story. We've never told him. He's like, oh, yeah, because she was there. I'm like, how do you remember that? And I think that maybe there is, you cross this horizon where things that happened to you before you were 5, you no longer remember, or because people stopped telling you those stories, or because you stopped talking about those stories, you forget. But I definitely believe and have seen evidence to support the fact that everything she will remember. There's things that Traveler will remember. Maybe it's not on the, oh God. There it is.
Now we're cooking. Thank you, Raj.
I'm going to stop
Roger,
talking.
is she still here?
Because...
Does she know this is happening?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great.
So you met her. You met baby Samira.
Met her before I saw you guys. I walked in straight to the most VIP. Yeah.
Adorable.
Great,
I know
dude.
it's always like everyone loves their kid. And I also, and you gotta say your kid's the cutest kid, whatever. I'm like, I fucking have the cutest kid. It's fucking crazy.
What I love is watching just like the face go.
So funny.
Good God. All right. Only because I love you guys, I'm going to do this. But I really would like a coffee. That'd be weird.
You chase them. You're fine. Not burn it down, or you'll be just fine.
My God in heaven. She'll remember, man.
Yeah.
And even if it's not on I can recall this, you imprint it on her.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing. To being dads, gentlemen.
Being dads.
The best.
Yeah. It's
you
wild.
have to drink.
And you bringing up the lasts, right? Like all those posts you see that even before me having a kid was even a thought. It's like you see the last time you pick them up, the last time you whatever, and of course that stuff still hits you. Like the idea of that. But I just like you in a roundabout way, like when I was like before this, you were one of the first people I told.
Hell yeah.
Like period. And
sorry, Curran.
But I remember just being like, as that process went on with you, I was like, what's the real advice? Like, really, really, what is it? And you just being like, take it all in. It goes by so fast, and obvious stuff. But it's like hearing that from you and seeing where you were with Ben, where you are with Ben. I'm like, okay, I need to take that even more seriously than I think. And already it's kind of going so fast, but. Thinking about all the last, it's like, man, I'm going through the firsts right now. Like there was just so many firsts.
Colors are like coming online.
She loves lights, and I'm like, oh, just like your dad. I just love it. That stuff's so cool. I want to show this video. We brought it up right when you were walking in.
Please.
And I want to show this because it's so funny. You see the kids, and one of the most common things is like, oh, who does she look like? Like, does she look like your mom, like your dad, or whatever it is, right? And like, it was crazy with Ben. It's like, God, you see him look like Jen one sec.
Kevin's got the coffee too.
Like he looks like Jen. He looks like Greg. He looks like a mix. And like we've seen this like back and forth forever. Right now, Samira very much is like you just don't see me in it at all. It's very, very Gia, very Gia's family. She looks like my brother when he was a baby a lot, like all that. But there are just two undeniable facts where I'm like, oh, you're definitely Tim Getty's daughter. One, it's her eyelashes. I see those, and I'm like, those are my eyelashes. Two, I don't want to say it because I want to play this video.
Go. Roll the tape.
Hi, Sam.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Get it. Just the best.
And I'm like, she's got my farts.
Yeah, bro.
That's my girl.
That's my girl, man.
She's out here putting on symphonies every single night. And I'm like, gee, I am so sorry. You got it in surround sound now.
I love it so much. And look, it seems really, really what's the word? Puerile and but I don't know about you guys. When I was growing up, one of the worst social things that could happen to you was if you farted in public.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want my kid like ripping wind, everywhere he goes. But I also don't want him to. Oh, man, we're having this huge thing right now.
This kid just farts. No,
where I don't want. I want him to have a different relationship. Like we're growing up in a completely different era now, to where there's so much social currency, and I want to bring the value of that dollar down to where his worth is based on the traveler dollar and not on the social dollar. And I think that there is, I don't want him to lose awareness for the people in the world that are around him, nor do I want him to ever feel like he is above it, below it, beside it. He's in it. But if I can teach him right now, is like, dude, if you fart in public, claim it. Be okay with that. That's okay. Would the world just blow up? What just happened?
Sorry.
There's an ongoing discussion with Kind of Funny right now of this podcast is awesome. Let's keep rolling with this. But what does that mean to the rest of it? So we're talking internally right now of canceling the stream that was going to happen beforehand, the replaced one. They were going to go play replaced.
Oh,
but
really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not in that game. I'm not in the game. I'm not in the game.
There's no voices in
but
the game.
I have been.
It should be. We just reviewed it.
I wish there would. I need voices. I love the game so much, but it's in desperate need of Troy Baker.
Come on now. I will follow any tangent, any dangle keys in front of me. I will get in the car and drive. Here's the thing. I've had
Screamer.
Yura is the dev for that, and part of the team of that. There's other people, of course, that are involved. But I've been having a great text thread with him about the development of the game and the process that is in. And just put the camera on me.
Put the camera on him.
Go support indie devs, and if you want to review games, be kind. Just understand that indie devs spend 5-6 years working on something that's really, really hard to do. And it's super, super easy to go, this is how I feel about it. Be kind. It's okay to be objective and critique things. That's what makes developers better. But don't do it just for the sake of doing it and shit talk, especially when they've just launched. Give it a second. Give it a second to breathe. I played the demo. I've got it loaded up on my Steam Deck. You can go away from me now. Thank you. Love you. I've loaded up on my Steam Deck. There we go. I thought you were going to linger on me for a second. Don't. Other guy. Bring bonk. That was Kirby Enthusiasm.
Oh, no, I got it. No, we understood. We understood, Troy.
I played the demo and I loved it. I've been waiting for this game to come out ever since I saw like the first trailer drop. I was like,
4 years ago.
Hell yeah, dude. 2.5D pixel art. The cinematic is actually it's impressive. I like the game. I had fun playing the game. Are we gonna talk about that?
I just reviewed it today. I fucking love the game.
Same.
Love the game so much. And I just real quick need to say, I also loved Screamer so much. And
it's
I
fun.
Loved you in Screamer.
Thanks, man.
So much.
Thank you, dude. I can't figure out how to.
They're fun. That was beautifully said about, letting people review games and be objective. It's just like if you didn't love an Indiana Jones game, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to throw it in your friends' faces when they're out in public at a Fortnite party or at the DICE Awards or at the Game Awards. You can just keep on keeping on. You know what I mean? You're great in mouse.
Oh man,
that was a fun night at the Fortnite party. Realizing maybe I'm not as important as I think that I.
Did I ever tell you the story?
No,
dude.
For the record,
Come on.
This is why you know Troy's a real one.
Fuck,
is that I
dude.
never ever would have brought this up on camera.
I love
I
it.
would never would have. I go down to the Fortnite event, right? This is the one where it's Quentin Tarantino. It's Uma Thurman. Do you want to come down? They're going to do the sequel or whatever, the extended
At the
scene.
Vista, at Quentin's theater.
We're going down there. We're going to have, it's invited. It's all these influencers. It's me. It's Sancho West. I'm totally out of place. Like, I'm like one of the few ancient press people there. Everyone else is a Fortnite creator, a TikTok creator. The one, it doesn't matter. This girl who I'd recognize, I'm like, oh, she's from TikTok. And so he's like, yeah, she's the most popular girl on TikTok. I'm like, I don't know. We're there. We get into the theater. We walk all the way down, me and Sancho, and they're like, all right, cool. This is as far as you go. These next 6 rows are all reserved for like the uppity ups, Quentin, Uma, yada, yada, yada. We're like, oh, okay, yeah, shit, no problem. Okay. Me and Sancho sit down. We're looking around. We're talking. Oh my God, it's this. A guy from Community, the main guy of Community, is right in front of me. He used to host The Soup. Or whatever.
Oh, Joel McHale.
Joel McHale is sitting in front of me with, I think, his son. It's like, wow, like, we're really, he's in the reserve section, obviously. Me and Sancho, and I look back, and who do I see? Troy fucking Baker. He's coming down, douche, dynamite suit.
Looking good.
Boom, those glasses you were wearing for long, the big, thick frames.
Looking
I'm
good,
so jealous
man.
of. He looks awesome.
Ready.
I stand up, I come over, I greet him, I'm talking to him. Sancho gets up. You knew him a little bit, but I gave you a little bit of introduction. We're hanging out, we're having a great time, blah, blah. And Troy's finally like, all right, well, it's getting pretty close. I'm gonna go get my seat or whatever. And we're like, yeah, of course, obviously. We sit back down in the, here with the serfs, the general thing. Troy walks up to the guy, talks to the security person for a second, turns around, comes back, and he goes, I don't have a seat in the reserved section.
I walked over.
I was like, wait, what? Like, there's 3 people who have voice acted in Fortnite in this room. You, Uma Thurman, and somebody. I was like, you don't.
Joel
You're
McHale.
Jonesy. You're Jonesy.
Well, and he even said, he was like, I'm going to go. He goes, these are our seats. I'm sure you got better seats. I was like, yeah, I guess I do. I was like, Jonesy, come on, you're going to do it. So I walked over to the gentleman that was helping people find their seats. I was like, hey, man, where am I? He goes, oh, wherever you can find a seat. I went, no, this says VIP. He goes, we're all VIPs. And I was like,
great.
I understand. A grave mistake has been made. Not on your part, but on my part.
Troy came back to us and he's like, well, I'm going to leave. And I was like, no, we can figure out. And I'm like, you remember Stephanie with the red hair from PR? I was like, she's here. We texted her. She came down. She's like, I can't really do anything. I was like, I can save you a seat over there.
Pick a seat, wherever you want. Just like, Troy, we're so glad that you're here. Sit your happy ass down and anywhere. And it was like, at that point, everybody had found their seats. So I'm like, 12 rows back. I'm like, it's okay. I understand where I'm at. Oh, I got hot. You're right, Krista.
Big time. That's a big time in people is a big deal around here. We're big
awesome.
time in it.
Oh, yay. What else were we talking about?
Being a dad. Yeah.
Being a dad.
Yeah.
It is funny how much the games that I play. Oh God, playing games with your kid.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Is the coolest.
When did Traveler start playing? Ballpark. I know it's kind of hard. It's a 7-year.
When he was in his crib, I put the controller in his hand and it kept falling over and it was a choking hazard. But I started putting let's play some Mario Kart and see how that was. It was really, I think when it started to latch onto him is when he picked up our buddy Eric Castro, who on the side, besides being an amazing bartender and an incredible human dog rescuer, and single-handedly keeping those Hawaiian shirt business.
He's doing it, man.
He looks good.
Holding it up. Hi, Eric. He also, I should not say this because people are going to ask for it. And he's like, dude, last time he did this, a lot of people asked me. He refurbs Game Boys.
Yes, he does.
And so he gave me an amazing, I never owned one. I had to borrow my friends whenever I could. And I told Travis, you will never understand the pain and the emergent gameplay that comes from, okay, I'm starting to see that red light.
Yep. He's going.
The screen is dimming.
Got to get to the save point.
I have to get to the save point, but what do I do? Do I turn the brightness down so you're gamifying the system so you can play the game better. And I mean, it is. He was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And Eric made me a Game Boy, and I paid for it, and I gave it to Traveler, and him hearing that bling, light up from that speaker, and him just sitting on the ground. And just that special click-clack sound of that D-pad and those two buttons. I was like, dude, you have no idea. And we went back through, and it has every game on there. And so we're playing... Allegedly. It could potentially play every game if you own them all and just happen to have a copy of that in your library of games that don't exist anymore in studios that aren't around. I got him to play Super Mario World, and we were playing. I mean, all of the classics. And that when it started to click for him, he did VR and loved it.
Oh, really?
He and I are going back and forth and playing Screamer and Mouse right now.
Oh man!
And Pam, of course, asks, she's like, "Is there blood?" And Traveler and I look at each other and we go, "No."
No. These mouse heads are exploding.
Black ink is filling. But that's not blood. She draws a line at that. So it is. We're having an absolute blast playing Mouse, and he's already critiqued me. He's like, voice isn't bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't believe that you're from that era, but it's not bad. I was like, shut up.
What are you
I like this house that you're in.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Does he have favorite voices of yours?
This is. I got to give it up to my son. He's funny, and he goes, "Look, I'm not saying that I like his Batman better, but Will Arnett's movies are better." And I was like, I understand. That's because they got hundreds of millions of dollars more than we did to make Lego DC Superheroes Unite, now available on DVD, Blu-ray, and
go get it.
I think.
Yeah, no, that's right. That
sounds about right. Yeah.
I'm gonna make my 72 cents in residuals off of that. Did I ever tell you my story about Will Ferrell?
I love you so much.
No.
I love this story. And he's one of the people that I want to meet again. I'm on the Warner Brothers lot, crossing from the underground ADR 5 over to ADR 1, which is the big ADR room. And I'm crossing the parking lot right there by the water tower. And I'm walking with my producer, and crossing the lot, coming this way, is Will Ferrell with his producer. And they stop and chat for a while, and she goes, "Oh, Troy, this is Will. Will, this is Troy Baker. He's Lego Batman."
Oh, no.
And Will Ferrell looks at me and goes, "Oh." And I was like, "Man, that was weird." And we left. I was like, what was that all about? And then 2 weeks later, they announced the Lego movie. So I rewind and I relitigate that situation from Will Ferrell's perspective.
He's like, he doesn't know he's been recast.
either I know something he doesn't, or he knows something that I don't. Good for you. He was like a Make-A-Wish kid. Like, everybody's Lego Batman, aren't we? So bad. Will Arnett made so much money off of that. So much money.
Should have been you, could have been you know?
No, it was great. He was great for the movies.
In these video games.
I got more. And then I got recast in the new game, too. But I met that guy. He's great, too. Great.
I met that guy. You put it that you're like ready to fight him. You're like, all right, you're pretty good.
He came up to me in London. And he was like, "Hey, I'm Lego Batman." I was like,
"The fuck you are?"
That's kind of like, he's like, "Hey, I'm the dude that's banging your girlfriend. I'm that guy.
Remember your ex? I'm with her now.
Remember her? I'm doing her so much better than you are." He's a super sweetheart. And I'm excited to play the game. I love the Lego games.
Yeah, they're great.
We're going to play that with Traveler. He's going to love that.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah.
What are the ones that you and Ben jam on?
Oh, man. Right now, Ben is still obsessed with Spider-Man 2.
What?
Yeah. Oh, no. He's full-blown.
Troy, I can't explain to you the level of savant that this kid is with video
come on,
games.
He's a chip off the old block. Am I right?
It is incredible. And
adopted?
I don't want... I don't...
He got all of Jen's genes.
I don't want to put down any other children.
Is there a donor?
But I have other friends who have similar aged kids who love video games and want the kids to be into games. And it's like, it works to an extent.
Right.
Ben
just
plays games.
You going to show me some?
This is our Christmas. We do a big Christmas Eve party every year. This is him giving a demo. He wanted to show everybody Spider-Man 2. So this is him playing. Nobody's helping him. He's just swinging through the city. There he is, on the way to the next crime, giving everybody his thing. So yeah, it's like I went out of my way to organically bring games to him. And so he started being obsessed with cars in the movie Cars.
Organically bring it. Play it! Play the game!
If you want dinner, you'll get Daddy's trophy. And so, yeah, he liked Hot Wheels Unleashed, but obviously you jump into that was difficult. So I gave him Forza Horizon and put him out in the open world. Because then you can just drive in any direction, and that was it. Now he understands controllers, he understands R2, he understands R1, so he's all about that. So he's playing that, he's playing Mario Wonder. We are all about Mario Wonder right now.
I commend you. Like, again, I love Mario Kart. It's incredible, but this is actually a good analog for parenting. There is the tendency, and I did this, I put on the auto steer and the auto accelerate.
Yes.
And I realize now how much of a hindrance, by helping him, I was hurting him. And what he needed, and now this is what I do. We loaded up Screamer, and he was like, "How do you play?" I was like, "Figure it out."
Yep.
And
Like
Screamer is difficult.
It is
from a racing
difficult,
perspective,
but it's also I'm sitting here reviewing my own game. It's incredibly intuitive.
Definitely,
right?
But here's the thing. Actually, I'm really interested in this. Is Traveler like taking to it? Because
100%.
It's very. I'd say it's only unintuitive because we grew up playing racing games that don't play that way. Using the second stick to drift and turn you need to be like, break yourself a little bit of your habits.
Well, this is what I told him. I was like, it's not about seeing how fast you can go. It's about control. It's about using speed as a weapon, not just trying to go as fast as you can.
Cool. That's a good tagline.
It is. Speed is a mechanic. Speed is one of your weapons. Yes, you have your shield. Yes, you have your attack. But that is not what this game is about. It is about strategizing and planning. You're not just trying to see how fast you can go and how many people you can blow up. It's like, you better wait until you hit that attack button. You better wait until you hit that boost button. Hiroshi's pretty awesome. Alex Lee did an amazing job.
Yes, he did.
In that game, dude.
Friend of the show.
One of the things we'll jump into this. One of the things that I really, really love that Milestone did was they're like, okay, we have an opportunity here. We're going to have people. This is a multicultural thing. What do we do when we have people with different languages? It's like, don't give, I'm the French person, I have a French accent. It's like, they speak French.
Yep.
And I made the mistake because I don't like subtitles when I play games. Do you really?
I love them deeply and dearly.
I hated subtitles until I married somebody whose English was their second language.
Yeah.
And now they're just everywhere, and I'm use them as a crutch. Well, you go to the movie theater, I'm like, I don't know what they're saying.
To me, because obviously they always put the subtitles before, like the full subtitle is there, and so you're not seeing the performance in real time. And so to me, it always makes the performance feel a bit inauthentic, or like, oh, I see, I'm playing Requiem right now. And when I see the stutters in the subtitle, it pulls from her performance for me for a little bit.
Sure.
And even if
why is she stuttering?
Right. I mean, it makes sense you start playing the game more, but the transcription of it actually kind of works against it. What, do you disagree with?
No, I'm with you. Greg's a hater.
It makes sense anymore. It's not like they're later like, oh, she's just scared of everything all the time.
Do we want to talk about Requiem?
Sure. Eventually, we're doing a games cast with you, but it's a jumping off of mouse. But I mean, we want to talk about
honestly, here's the thing. I don't get to play games except when I'm on a plane. Now I'm at the point where I can sit down, and Traveler and I both are like, can we play for a little bit before dinner? Because here's what we do. Once dinner comes, we're at the table. Dude, this is when it's awesome. Right now it's great, and you're absolutely right. You're in this amazing time where it's firsts, and you and Gia get to find out, you get to rediscover your person every day.
Yep.
Because you're like, I've never met you. I've never met you before. You're brand new. And so are you. And you get to like, there's so much about Pam that I discovered, the child that she was, that I've discovered about her as a mom. And we get to unpack our childhood.
Dude.
Yep.
Bro.
Dude.
There have been some real conversations where I don't know who it was harder for, me or her, to where it was like, I have to go back and I have to either A, take accountability, or B, I have to understand that I wasn't responsible for that. And I wasn't to blame for that. And I remember we were in COVID, and there was a kid that was walking past us. It was him and his little sister. And it's all you could do in COVID. We walked like miles every day. And we passed each other, and he was like, my name's Kevin. I'm a handful. And we're like, oh.
Oh, Kevin.
We laughed, and then I got about halfway down the block, and my heart broke for that kid.
Yeah, because he's heard that from his parents, right?
Who told you were a handful?
Yeah.
And you understand that's not a shortfall of you. That's a shortcoming of the hands. And how much of my narrative of who I was,
You're so good.
bro, it just hit me in real time. I was like, I will never tell Traveler that it's your fault. Hey, you need to behave. No, I need to watch out for you right now. You're 7 or 4 or 3 months. It's like, dude, it's our pediatrician gave me some of the best advice. He was like, don't have, I think I told you this, like, don't have a bunch of rules, have one. People gave me shit for this too, and I don't care. It served us well. And if you've met Traveler, he's one of the coolest kids you will ever encounter in your life.
Agreed, I've met him.
You have one rule. You can do whatever you want. But the second that you hear me call your name, you stop and you come to me immediately. No questions, no why, but I come to me immediately. Because it's my job to keep, I think I said this on your show.
Probably.
It's my job to keep you safe. And we were talking about this, and if I was talking to Traveler the other day, I said, you will never be in trouble with us. You will never be in trouble with us. Because if you're in trouble, I have to arbitrarily choose what that means, what the consequence is, why. But there's a difference between saying, good God, good for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's his first week back. He's only been working a day.
Is it really your first week back?
It is. It's day 2.
If I say, don't go in there or you'll be in trouble, or I say, don't go in there, it's dangerous, which one are you going to listen to? Traveler's like, it's dangerous. I'm like, right. I don't want you to go in there because it's snake infested. But if I go, don't go in there, you'll be in trouble, knowing that there's snakes in there, just tell him, don't go in there, it's dangerous. Let him do the logic for himself.
Yep.
So that has really served us as parents, but being able to go back and relitigate our childhood, that's kind of like the majority of what I do now is to Pam and I go, oh shit, we've never dealt with this before. But me being able, I'm going to bring it back to what I was talking about.
Wow.
The ability for us to sit here and play games, man, is rare. It really is rare. And I've fallen in love with playing stuff on my handheld because when you're on flights for 4 hours, 10 hours, 45 minutes, whatever, it's like, okay, I can sneak in some playing. And when I finally can sit down and play with Traveler, it's fun. But then it's like I'm going back to being in an arcade.
Sure.
To where it's like, oh, this is the way I get to rediscover learning to watch and love seeing someone play a game.
To everything you just said, right? We just had one of these the other day where Jen walked in, we're experimenting more, not experimenting. Ben's a very independent child, right? And so Jen walked into the bathroom when he was in the bath, time to actually wash you or whatever, right? And she walked in and he looked up and he pulled a bouncy ball out of his mouth and he burst into tears. Not because Jen yelled at him, because he knew what he was doing was bad. He knows he doesn't put the toys in his mouth. He doesn't normally do that. But I want to touch the oven once thing happened and mom walked in at that moment. Guilt. And he knew, and it was that Jen kept saying, you're not in trouble. Like this, but it was like so on himself of he knew it was wrong, and then to be caught in the moment of being wrong, right? And I brought it up I'm like, and he's like, hey, I know it's wrong. I'm like, I know you know, but I just need to tell you. And I'm like, again, it wasn't you're in trouble. It's that if anything, I broke down to tears again at the table. I was just like, if anything happened to you, man, I couldn't live with myself. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't go on without this. So you got to be taking care of yourself. You have to be looking at
parenting, man. Being able to look at them and go, can I tell you why?
Yeah, exactly.
And that was always the thing. Is like, don't do that. Why? Can I tell you why? We're leaving right now. Can I tell you why? Traveler to this day is like, can I be a part of the conversation?
Yeah.
You think they're not listening, by the way?
I know.
Homie? Yeah. Holy shit. The front seat conversations that we think for some reason are isolated. He's like an Uber driver. He's like, I'm tracking all of this. I'm tracking all of this. Can I point out something cool that Geddes just did? You know that scene in Heat?
I never finished.
Where are you?
I'm dead serious. I've never finished Heat. I don't think if I've really started. I think it's one of those that's been on TBS and I've run into a scene or two.
Can I go? I want to come over to your house right now.
Hey, Jen, I know you're still watching. Troy's coming over and watching Heat tonight.
Holy shit.
Put Ben out back.
So there's a scene. It's not spoiling anything. You'll get there and you'll love it. There's a scene at the end of the movie where Ashley Judd's character the cops are on her. They know that she is, has a relationship with one of the people that are involved, Val Kilmer's character, and they're getting divorced. They're in a bad relationship, and she sees Val Kilmer walking up, and he doesn't know that he's actually walking into a sting. And she's looking at him on the balcony. And she just looks at him, and here's her chance to get her revenge on him. And she just goes like that. And he looks at her, and he knows that's the walk away sign, and he does. And she loves him in that moment. And I looked over at Tim Gaze just now. I don't know why he did it, but he just went like that. And I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever.
I don't know why I did that, but I did.
I was like,
I thought you were signaling, and I was like, I need to wrap up and put a button because they need to go to a break.
We already did the ads. We're fine.
Yeah.
I told that. Everybody, no replace stream today. We have to record a podcast that'll go up on Monday with Troy.
Here's the thing. Please, I want Yura to get all of.
Do not worry.
Okay.
I'm sure they're going to get back to it.
Took me off the.
I would imagine they'll get back to a replacement.
They will. They will. They were going to do it for 2 days. So
great. Okay. We love. Right.
I am going to be singing the praises of Replaced all year long.
Great.
Do not.
Me
worry.
too.
Yeah. Good.
Gonna say whoopsie daisy.
No, it's interesting. You're talking about recontextualizing childhoods and then also meeting your partner in that, right? Where when Jen ran into it, I forget on what app, conversation, whatever it was, of like, hey, she looked at me, she's like, were you a living room kid or a bedroom kid? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, did you play in your bedroom or did you play in the living room? And I was like, bedroom. I was an only child. Like I was in the living room. I was everywhere in the house. And she's like, me and my sister were bedroom kids. And she's like, I'm so happy that Ben is a living room kid. Like Ben has toys everywhere in the house, but if he's playing, he brings it in the living room. So it's a shared experience. And then Jen's other thing is like, she obviously grew up with her older sister. And then eventually when she was like 16, there was a younger sister that came around, but
it's 3 total.
Yeah. But it was very much that Jen never had to do imaginative play as much, right? Like Gab set the pace and they were doing their thing or whatever they were, blah, blah. But like as an only child, like I had a million stories and things and toys and storylines. And so when Ben hands Jen toys and says play, it's taken her a while to be like, okay, I can do this. It was very much like, oh, I don't have this improv background. And obviously my job so much is that, but then also what it was as a kid to play with things.
That's because like, this is the conversation that we constantly have, Pam and I, and there's go back and forth on whether or not we're going to have kids. I'm 50.
No way.
Yeah, bro. Well, you know this.
Well, I know you're older than me, but I don't know how old.
Yeah.
I mean, first off,
50.
If you're at home right now, look at that man right there and then put a photo of Nick next to him and say, who's older? Clearly it's Nick, right? You'd be wrong, turns out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's like just life decisions that Nick made. That's comedy.
This kid.
That's comedy.
That's comedy for you. I don't have a problem because Graham McTavish is someone that I don't know if you would even know that I consider him for this, but Graham, I think, had his youngest kid when he was 50. And he's strapping, handsome, and successful and Scottish. English, really, but Scottish by birth. I know too much about Graham McTavish.
You've worked with him a few times.
Yeah. But I look at him and I'm like, age is a number. My dad was old when he was 40, And I think about this is like when I moved out to LA, which was 20 years ago, my dad was younger than I am now. And I'm like, you were old. Like, it's not, I'm not saying my perspective of you was old, but it's like, you weren't in the gym 3 to 4 times a week. You weren't like, there was nothing about you that was active.
Yeah.
Last night, Traveler and I, this is the coolest thing. When your kid beats you, it is the coolest thing. And Traveler last night smoked me on a run.
Oh, nice.
Like he was like 3, 2, 1, go, bam. And off the line, I was like, shit. And it was the second run that second sprint that we were doing. And I was like, yo, I need you to let you know, you legitimately beat me.
I was trying and you were.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not the fastest runner, but I can get it if I want to. He just Tom Cruise and hightailed it and beat me. I was like, dang. But there's a point where like, okay, what are we going to do here? Are we a one and done, or are we going to keep going down this race? But you as an only kid, I have arguments for both, where it's like, Traveler's amazing. He has, Ronan, Travis and Laura's kid. They're 2 months apart. They're cousins. They play and fight like family.
Sure. Yeah.
He has his friends, and we have a few more years before we're not the people that he really wants to hang out with the most.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I think that's us doing our job as parents. But I also say, if we had a kid right now where there's going to be 8 or 9 years difference, what does that look like? And I've never put it into such great binary terms of like living room or bedroom kid, but I was 100% a bedroom kid. And I don't really remember. I remember hanging out with my sister, and I love my sister. I don't really remember like playing with my sister.
Yeah.
She was 2.5 years old, 2.5 years older than me, not 8 or 9 years older than me.
Yeah.
So Traveler is going to be out of the house, But I'm curious, like, what are you guys just so in it right now? You're thinking about this, or do you go, I don't know, we could do this again? Is Gia like,
dude, it's
saddle up, going to Austin, or what?
Let's go to Austin, baby. Yeah, no, it is definitely a conversation that happens a lot because of where we're at and where a lot of our friends are at, where, we are at the point that most of my closest friends, not all, but most have a kid, and then conversation of, are we doing another? And like, there's all of that. And even before Samira was born, like, as we've talked about all this, like, I grew up, it was me and my brother, and he's 2.5 years younger, and we grew up best friends. We were living room kids. We like played till the cows came home. We added Kevin to the mix too, like very, very young. Like,
really?
Yeah, I mean, Kevin's mom was our babysitter, and like since I was 4, Kevin was 3, my brother was 2, we were just inseparable.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And
I thought he was part of the work release program from the prison or something.
I mean, there's other.
He looks like
two things can be true.
Like he escaped from them.
Two things can be true. But no, like we grew up. There he is. We grew up together.
That's the last thing I see before I die. that is the face. 100% is like, well, that's it. That's
time.
But no, I mean, we thrived playing, right? It was just like make believe and playgrounds and Legos and video games. Like, oh my God, that was our life. And it's funny.
It's Lego.
God, is that in your fucking contract for life? And
no, I got corrected in an elevator at San Diego Comic-Con by the president of Lego. And I was like, I just want to let you know. I said, I'm Lego Babby. He's like, oh, wonderful to meet you. And I said, I've played with Legos my entire life. He goes, correction, you've played with Lego your entire life.
Yeah.
And I went, I understand where I've made the error.
Yes. But it's very interesting because Gia and her sister are 7 years apart. And I don't think that I've ever met siblings that are closer than them. They are
really
legitimately best friends. They are like, Gia loves Jenna more than anything on the planet. That might be changed now with Samira. She definitely loves her more than me. And I totally understand it. Jenna is an angel on earth. But they are more so on the bedroom kid side of things. Jenna has a little fun in her that Gia doesn't have. Gia is very, very, her fun is words. Her fun is talking. Her fun is writing. Her fun is, all of that stuff, right? But her and Jenna, that 7-year difference, it's just wild where, me and my brother, incredibly close, like my entire life. And the play and the love and the everything, like that's always there to this day. And seeing Jenna and Gia, it's like, blows my mind that a 7-year difference versus a 2.5-year difference. It's like, how could they compare?
So like,
but they do.
I've known you
a long time,
over a decade.
Like, when did you start playing games?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this question directed at Tim. It was kindergarten. I got a Master System with Ghostbusters, and then in first grade upgraded to a Genesis.
That was in the living room.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My dad had a computer. Like green screen, orange screen.
Nice.
Right? And that was in either their bedroom or it was in a room off of the living room so that I could go and play on that when he wasn't using it. But besides that, I had my toys. We didn't have a system. So I didn't, and that would have been in the living room.
Well, there weren't systems, right? I mean, like you being 50, like.
I mean, I remember my parents plugging in a ColecoVision into the TV and seeing those two paddles pass for the first time. I have a vivid memory of that. And I would have been like 5. So there are stuff that kids remember at that age. But no, I didn't have, I mean, you had Atari 1600 or 2600. You had the Intellivision. You could have like games on an Amiga. You could have TI had some stuff where you had literally like floppy disk computer games. Like I played like all the Broderbund software stuff was, or Sierra games was on PC. But it wasn't until like, 87, 88 when like NES really came on let's see, it was 86 when
85 was
85,
the
that's
NES,
right.
but like by 88, it's like that's when we had
when, like,
Mario 3. Like by 89, Mario 3, and like the library of the NES.
I remember the first time that I was like, "What is this?" And somebody had this little rectangle and an orange gun, and they were like, "We have 2 games on this thing that we can play." But that was for all the other kids, and I had to kind of go hang out with Gary and kind of go hang out with Steven because they had all the systems. And like Sega, if there was a hot game, I had to go, see if I could suck up to the favor of the kid that had the Sega. Like I didn't have that, but the first like system that I bought, I finally had enough money. I was in my 20s, and PS1 all of a sudden dropped dramatically in price. I was like, hell yeah, I can afford this. Bought a PS1, and like a week later, the PS2 came out. I was like, son of a bitch.
Should have ready GM.
God, at that time, the PS1 must have been literally sub $100.
It literally, I think it
that's
dropped
just
down.
crazy to think about right now when the PS5 is going up and all
up and
hitting
up,
close to that 1,000.
When I bought it, I think because before that it was like $150 or $200 whatever, and dropped to $79. It was like, let's go. And all these games like Silent Hill was like nothing. Please take these games, clear off the shelves to make way for. And then I like a month later saved up and got my PS2.
I have a similar but very different timeline story to that, where I guess technically the first game console in my house was a Commodore 64 that my dad
that was the other one I forgot,
found, which is, and like he at one point, like my dad was not into games, like he was just too old for it, didn't understand it, but he saw it on the street and just brought it into our house and like set it up. And this is like obviously the early 90s, you know what I mean? So it was just like, all right. And we played whatever game, Jumpman, and some Diamonds Are Forever, a James Bond game, and it's like these games were trash,
terrible.
You know what I mean? But I was just so fascinated. I'm like, oh my god, I love the idea of this. My cousin had a NES, and I'd play Mario 3 and be like, what the fuck? But the big thing was Kevin's mom would take us to garage sales all the time, and I always say that I am so lucky that I grew up exactly when I did because we were able to go to a garage sale, and Kevin's mom bought him a NES. And it was $25. And that NES came with 2 controllers, the trackpad, a zapper, and like 15 games.
Outrageous.
And we're talking about the entire library of the NES classics.
Yeah.
So we got to just grow up with the history of video games post industry crash in 84 or 85, right? So it's like, damn, how lucky we are that we just got to cycle through, and then we'd play all those games and love them. But my first console was the Super Nintendo, and kind of similar to what you're saying, my parents got it for me, and the N64 had already been out, so it was dirt cheap at that point. And the first game I ever had was that I owned was Super Mario All-Stars plus World. So it was Mario 1, 2, 3, Lost Levels, and World. And I think about that so often of like, damn, my first video game is the greatest collection of video games of all time.
Pretty remarkable.
And I didn't know.
You didn't know? You're just like, oh, this is what games are.
This is what games are. And I just have to say this now. It's like that cartridge I got signed by Miyamoto.
Are you serious?
Timur Hussein helped me get that done. And it's like the coolest thing I own. And it's now in Samira's baby room, which is Yoshi's Island themed. And there's a lot going on, but it's like, I love it. And I think about it so often about like, damn, how lucky we are that we got to have that as our like gaming experience.
I'm a weird kid because when I was growing up, because we didn't have money. We never had enough money to like a chunk of change to go out and buy a system. But what I did have, or what my parents did have, was like $5 and a desperate need to be rid of me for a few hours. So they would go and drop me off to the mall. And my platform was the arcade. And there's the emergent gameplay of, and I still love that sound of like you got to get the $5 straight.
Oh yeah.
That $5, by the way, was not just for my entertainment. It was for my food. So I would go maybe eat and take the remainder and go into the arcade, or cut to the chase. I can deal with a little bit of hunger pains. Get that $5 nice and straight. Put it in there,
and it goes, and then comes out.
And
you have to put it in again.
Rub it on the thing.
The second that it gets accepted, and those quarters fall down, I was like, I'm the wealthiest man in the world.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I walked around, put them in my pockets. Well, I wasn't particularly good. So I didn't know that if I put, a quarter on, say, like Street Fighter, and somebody walked up and chose Chun-Li, you walk away. You walk away. You're about to get your ass kicked. And so I would revenge play, and I would just dump quarters into it until I was down to my last one. Or I would choose, my favorites were always like, okay, this is a 1 quarter, like Afterburner 2, where I get to actually climb into the cockpit and do everything else. That's 3, but man, what a great experience. And learning that economy of that. And then, okay, so what am I going to do for the next hour and 45 minutes? Because that was 15 minutes out of my life. And I would sit there and I learned like I was saying before, Traveler, like the love of watching someone else play, and then being able to go, that's how, like watching someone play, Ghosts and Goblins. I mean, like that's how you get past that level.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, when I get another $5, we're gonna Seamus the Knight and I are gonna come back and have ourselves a little round 2. His name is Arthur, actually. It's not Seamus.
It's Arthur.
But that was such a big part of that, right? You talk about that culture, that playground culture, right? You had that too, of like playing a game and coming to the schoolyard and being like, how do you do this? And what do you do?
Greg, I was 8 years old when Pokemon came out.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
That was all that our playground was, right?
Yeah.
But I need to say this because we're talking about arcades and the quarter system and all of that. Like, because I was more of a 90s kid growing up with the games and stuff, arcades were more later 90s, I'd even say. It wasn't the
place
hot
to go.
Right? We had consoles. We had Street Fighter at home, literally. It wasn't the meme. It's like we had Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo. So I didn't grow up playing fighting games in the arcade like so many people that I'm envious of that. Like that sounds so cool. But what I did have in the early 2000s was Dance Dance Revolution, which kind of was a bringing people back to arcades,
the arcades,
right? The whole Bimani experience stuff where so many of these Japanese things were being imported, and it was like, oh, what a novelty, what a fun thing. And I was obsessed with Dance Dance Revolution, and literally the most embarrassing story I have in my life.
Please tell me that.
That's saying something.
It is saying something. I've told the story on a Game Over Greggy show years and years ago.
I remember.
And it is something that I one of the few things I'm like, should I have said that? I can't take it back. And here I am about to tell you it again.
Please.
Live.
So in arcades, you alluded to this, but when you're playing Street Fighter or a fighting game or something, you're playing, the person that wants next will put a quarter on the screen, right? To kind of like save their spot, like I'm next up. And DDR works similarly. I didn't have the experience in the early 90s of going to arcades, playing fighting games, learning that system. I didn't have an older brother. Nobody could have told me what's going on. It's even worse than you think, Troy. It's even worse than you think. Here I am, me, Tim Geddes, playing Dance Dance Revolution. Someone comes up and puts it there, puts a quarter because they want to play next. I thought they were tipping me because I was dancing so well.
This kid is so good. I need to keep this going.
Let me ask you this. Did you have a towel that you put, like you came in?
I wasn't sweating like that back then. If I were to play now, I would need a towel.
There were a few games.
Mr. Hawks and Jesus fuck.
Yeah. That's me, baby.
But by the way, what I love is that not only did you think that it was a tip, but that you accepted a quarter as a tip.
But that meant I got to play
thanks,
again.
Buddy.
But it meant I got to play again. It was the greatest tip of all time.
I forget so you grabbed it and what did the person say?
They were just very like, but wait, hold on, whoa, what are you doing? And I had to have a conversation. Like he taught me that day. He was very nice. He explained.
Step out of the cage. What? Step out of the cage. Step out of the cage. I got next.
Yeah.
What?
God.
I got to. I saved up my money, and I was like, I want a Mortal Kombat 2, and I want a Golden Tee. Those are the two games that I pump the most amount of money into. When they started putting like dollar slots into video games, that was bad. And what I loved is, you own the arcade, so you could put it on free play. I was like, no, I realized is like I need to teach Traveler.
Oh my God.
The special pain that happens when you're on your last guy, on your last quarter, on the boss.
Oh man.
And that feeling of like I have to
lock in,
dude. And so I reprogrammed my machines to be able to be coin operated. And so, because I want him to understand, it's the same thing. That's the difference between vinyl and Spotify. Love Spotify, use it all the time. You're not sponsored by Spotify.
No.
Okay.
We're very popular on Spotify. Thanks, everybody. Like,
But I also have taught Traveler, like, once we have dinner, we go to wind down time. Pam and I play this marble game called Aggravation, and we yell horrible things at each other in a spirit of lovely competition. And then we do best 2 out of 3 for that. We play gin rummy, best 2 out of 3 of that. Call each other terrible names in a very loving way. Traveler's drawing either with us or in another room. And then we put on an album. And when that album is over, we go to bed.
Nice.
It's not this endless supply of music.
5 more minutes, one more song. Yeah.
Right. It is like, nope, that needle has passed over. That song has ended. That album is over.
That's great.
And it's like, all right, everybody, let's go to bed. I highly recommend that for anybody who's trying to do that. It'll rewire you to stop doom scrolling too.
Sure.
It's just it's not about the endless supply, but it starts with that. Oh, this is my last quarter.
Yeah.
Better play very judiciously.
I love that.
I have a question for you.
Go.
I was going to save this for Gamescast, but we're here and I'm drunk, so we'll talk about it
That was quick.
Yeah, I know. I'm lightweight nowadays. Just kidding. I'm fine. I could drive. No, I wanted to put you over and tell you how much I love you, and to the audience talk about the fact we talk about friends of the show all the time, right? Of like people come through, have done stuff, you're in social media contact with and stuff, and I want to make sure everyone knows that Troy Baker is a real friend.
Yeah, dude.
Kind of funny in general.
I'm an OG best friend.
Exactly. But I mean, like legitimately, like exchanging texts. We've hung out privately. I consider you a friend.
We've done life together.
We've done life together. We've had those kind of conversations and stuff. And so, like, it means so much that, yeah, you're here in the 3rd studio now, that you've been with us this whole ride, that you would make time, again.
Posted Kind of Funny Live 1.
Fly in today at 1:30 to fly out tonight at 6:30, just so you could do a show. And then I told you about this show. You're like, oh, I'm crashing that show.
100%.
And here we are just hanging out. Like, that means so much to me and us. And I want to make sure people know, like, that. I feel like as your star has continued to shoot through the sky, I think sometimes it gets lost that, like, oh, he's just one of the kind of funny. Greg calls him like he calls everybody else, but you're a very special person to all of us, Troy, and I love you for that. And I want to thank you for that and making the time for us. Bringing this into talking about our families and being dads and everything else, I have 2 questions. One is a callback to something we talked about, I think, privately. It was probably Pam at some dinner talking about this. No, it's not. I was wondering, at where you're at right now, 7 going on 8 with Traveler, do you guys still do the defined, it is taco night, it is pasta night, it is whatever?
Dude, do you know about this?
No, haven't learned this one
I
yet.
think that more relationships have ended by saying, what do you want for dinner tonight?
Yeah.
And it is just like, especially when whoever is the person who is, whether it's a 2-income household or single-income household, whoever is doing that, when there's, or it has nothing to do with your vocation. If you have changed diapers, made meals, pumped, whatever you've done, the last thing you want to do is figure out one more item of tedium. You're done. And so we developed a system where it's like, yo, Monday night is Fiesta Bowl night. Tuesday is steak taco night. Wednesday night is barbecue chicken salad night. Thursday we may go have sushi. Friday night is going to be burrito night. And it's just, what you're going to eat. So it's whoever is in charge of going to the store to get groceries, that person, there's an assumption of that. We fall off it every once in a while because now there's a 3rd person that's involved. He was like, can we just do Fiesta Bowls? Traveler always wants to do Fiesta Bowl. It's quite delicious, by the way. It's very, very easy. You do rice. You do grilled turkey or grilled chicken.
Sure.
Bell pepper, avocado, a little bit of olive oil. I'll throw some cheese in there. Pam doesn't necessarily do cheese. Traveler doesn't want to do cheese. Put some Cholula on that. Bro, just a big old bowl of just so good. I'm starving too.
I offered you lunch.
You did offer me lunch.
Multiple times?
Conversation is sustaining me more than anything.
We got a burrito or taco truck across the way. You want that?
Are you serious? Is it?
It's good.
It's really good.
It's real good.
I wouldn't offer you bad tacos. But if you want, what do you want? Tell me what
I
you
don't
want.
know. We'll do
You want
this
a
off
salad?
the air.
You want a wrap? You want a chicken Caesar wrap?
You mentioned burritos.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this later.
Okay, fine.
I'm so weird about food. I am so weird about. I'm like that girl in Signs with the glass.
With the water?
How long has that been out? 30 minutes. I don't trust you.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So fun.
it's now a Traveler Bowl. Absolutely, Joseph Grigsby.
Oh, that's good.
A T-bowl. Oh, sounds so good.
No, I asked because before you got here, even we talked about one of the the different shifts and everything else. I was talking to Tim about coming back to work and how he was talking about how that's then already changed the relationship and what G is doing at home and how we got to redo that because that ain't working, right? And it was the same thing of I remember early on Jen being like, "Yo, I am underwater with meals. Like I can't worry about meals anymore." And it was like, oh, and I introduced, we had talked about it as single people, I think with Jen, but it was like, I think she'd forgotten about it. And I was like, Troy and Pam did this kind of, and we've moved to it. It's not so locked, but it's more like go to the grocery store and buy all this stuff, knowing you're going to make the turmeric chicken, you're going to make taco night, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
And then you have it there to switch it out. And the same thing, I usually cook breakfast. So like we have all the breakfast items there Ben, what do you want? And it's like, it's there for whatever he says he wants. And it's just easy. Forget about it. It's not trying to come up with something brand new about it.
It makes life so much easier. And people are like, well, I like variety. I challenge you that you go to more than 5 restaurants in a given week. Like we said, we just order. You don't order from more than 5 places. You're like, let's just get the Chinese place again. Well, let's just go ahead and get that Mexican place again. Let's just do this again.
So true, dude.
Everyone does.
So
because we're creatures of habit.
Yeah.
And if we're especially our decision fatigued, which is something that Barbara Dunkelman talked to me about. She's like, oh, you have decision fatigue. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't want to make another goddamn decision. Please, just someone. I will try something new. I don't care. It's like that's radioactive. It's like, I'll put it on my face. I don't want to decide. But most people don't go to more than 5 places. You typically get the same thing when you ever go to that place. You don't go like, you know what, just shake it up. I'm going to try something new. The sushi place that we go to, they have omakase, which is basically means I trust you. And I will, whatever they've got fish-wise, I'm like, load it up. I don't care what it is. Give that to me, and I'll be like, I don't like that. I'm okay with it being disappointed because it's not my decision.
Sure.
I'm okay with
Well, there's inevitably going to be the rankings.
Yeah,
I was like, try a bunch of different things, and what did you like? What didn't you like? That's one of our favorite things to do with Ben.
Bro, it's so important.
Since we've been dating, Jen's favorite, and you've been there for it.
Oh, yeah.
She turns to the waiter and goes, "Fuck us up with food.
Fuck us
Whatever
up
you
with
want.
food.
How
That is
much
the
do we
quote.
need, and what do you think it is?" And and so when we get that, and then it's like, "All right, Ben, what did you think? What was your favorite?" And we all go around. We all have our different opinions. We all review what we had. And it's like a great way to have him try something. That's our biggest thing is we keep for him.
Gotta
like,
try.
You got to try. We're not mad if you don't like it. Just try it.
You gotta.
We'll
try
do whatever
it.
you want. We'll get whatever you want, but you got to just try it.
This was a relatively new concept for me, because for me I was, and I think you'll experience this as well. Your doctors or whoever will tell you is like, you got to get them on. You got to try expand their palate. You're just like, and when they're babies, man, we were giving them stuff. They're like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? What do you think of this? And as they get older, I've noticed like Travelers, like, I really just kind of want these 3 things. And I'm like, man, you don't understand how important it is. You need to hear different languages, smell different air, see different stars. You need to experience this world because it's really, really easy for you to get very homogeneous very quickly and think that this is all the world that you have. And there's so much more out there to explore, and that starts with food. We told Traveler, there's 3 places you need to learn how to be. You need to learn how to be on a plane, in a restaurant, and in a theater. If you can be in those 3 places, you can pretty much be anywhere else. Because if you can be in a theater, you could be in a church, you can be in a museum. You learn kind of like, oh, this is kind of a quiet place.
Yeah.
Hushed calm.
A hushed calm, exactly. No, this isn't a place where you're on screens. No, this isn't a place where you're... A friend of mine was in a Sondheim play, and it wasn't like West Side Story. It wasn't, like something that was like visually stimulating. And he just sat there and just drew the entire, watching what he was seeing was like, and the scene would change and he would turn a page over and just doing this. I'm like, okay, we're doing something right. And being on a plane, long time sitting there. What do? Figure it out. We will do games together. At some point, it's like, yeah, dude, throw on Bluey. You'll cry your ass off with Bluey.
Dude,
good.
I showed him one live. I showed him
already
the mother
cried.
episode on live once. When I found Bluey, he cried.
Yeah, I have a question.
Go.
You said you had 2. Is there another one there?
Oh, but it was more to what we're talking about before of like, and I'm going way back of like 1 kid, 2 kids, whatever. You're an only child.
Yeah.
No, you had
I have an older sister. Yeah.
What about Pam?
She has an older brother.
See, this is an interesting one because both you and Gia have kids. Jesus Christ, sorry, siblings. And for me, only child, Jen, had an older sister for most of her life, and then had a younger sister very late. And so, like, something we go back and forth on, we are not having another kid. I will not allow it. You know what I mean? Not for my
That's
only
her
child.
or you?
Me.
Okay.
And even her, she's like, no, it's the right call. But every so often, these things called hormones kick in.
Understood.
Once a month, and I really got to fight her on it. No. But it's that the real conversation is...
Get off me.
It's against God. The real conversation that kicks in is her worrying about him after we're gone. And me having to talk so much of like, but like I have been on my own forever and I don't worry. I have friends that are family. You know what I mean? Like
you also have her.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So that's the other thing that I realized is that Traveler will find his person.
Yeah.
And Pam is my family. Traveler is my family. I have my parents. I have my sister. And those are my relatives. But they're not my family. My family, we are a kingdom of 3.
That's really good.
And our walls are high and our gates are strong. So now we may be a kingdom of 4 one day, but we are a kingdom of 3. And one day that boy will leave the kingdom and he's going to go find his own kingdom. And our job is to stand on the parapets and wave and wish him well. And know that we have equipped him to do everything else in the world he can. But it is not about keeping him within the walls of our kingdom. It's about allowing him to have the freedom. There was an anthropologist that told me there is something that happens in our DNA that triggers this response where the perception from us to our parents, we go, you're an idiot and you don't know anything. And that is a biological trigger that allows us to leave the cave, to leave the nest, to leave the den. Otherwise, we would stay and we would pollute the gene pool. We've got to go out and mate and explore and expand. So when Travel looks at me and is like, you're a fucking idiot, I'm like, kick ass. You're right. And I've done my job. Now go to explore, and he will come back when he's established his own kingdom and go, thank you. That's my only mission in life. That's it.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. I have to ask a question.
Go. No, it's your show.
Yeah,
You're the dad.
This is the thing. Is like
what a show this has been. Samira, Kevin,
incredible.
Troy Baker,
Bourbon. Beautiful stuff. I just feel like there's such a unique opportunity right now in this moment. I'm going to ask you a question. You've probably been asked 10 million times, but this being the Kind of Funny Dad cast where we had Kevin here, we had Greg, we had me for the first time as a dad. This is my second day back from paternity leave. Then Troy Baker walks in and he's sitting here. You have Traveler. You're one of the first dads I knew in my life. You were one of the first people to have a child that was in my life. You are also an iconic performer, and you are the voice of Joel Miller in Last of Us. You are Joel Miller in so many ways. I know that The Last of Us means so much to you. The story of, for all intents and purposes, a father and daughter. What does Last of Us mean to you now, 7 years into having Traveler? Different than it did before?
The number one question that people ask me is, do you think Joel made the right decision? And I understood my answer from a very strong narrative standpoint. Like, absolutely. The character of Joel made that decision because to him, that was the only option, was I have to lie to protect her, and I will save the girl because that is me redeeming my humanity. And I understood that. And then in 2018, that story became something entirely new. And I respect Neil so much for writing that story, because for me, it was a character and a narrative arc and a project that I cared deeply about. And it was something that I threw my entire being into as ill-prepared and as inexperienced as I was. And for him, it was a thought experiment. What happens if I lose my daughter? Because his daughter had just been born. And the story that he had been writing ever since he was in high school, Second Chance for Sarah, had turned into this from out of the hypothetical into a very, very real existential crisis. What do I look like? Who do I become if something were to happen to her? And I didn't understand that until, 5 years later. And so now there is this amazing thing that happens when you become a parent, however you become a parent. I've seen Pam in the middle of the night, Traveler's sleeping in between us, and I, roll over and my hand just goes like this. Like it would have, hit him like on the head like that. Nothing bad, but just a little bit like that. And I've seen her in her sleep go whack and catch me and prevent that from happening. I'm like, there's just this incredible bond, and you'll do anything you can, even subconsciously, to protect them. So now I revisit that story and that plot point and that question of, did Joel do the right thing? And I was like, it's not a matter of the right thing or the wrong thing. It's the only thing. He did save the world. That's because that world was that little girl. And there is nothing else that I'm sorry to everybody, all 6.9999 billion people on the planet. This planet can burn, I will save that boy. And I take that and I extrapolate and I roll it backwards. It's like, okay, if I'm willing to give up my life for him, can I give up my time? Can I give up the things that I want, the selfish needs that I feel that I deserve in order to give to him, while I take the food off my plate and give it to him in every way? So yeah, I look at that now, and that story means so much more to me as a dad, and for dads that played that game and wrestled with that in real time. I've talked to dads who played the game who had daughters, and I understand on a whole new level the impact that story has had on people. And this is why we play games, is for us to explore the darkest, most terrifying, crippling experiences that we can possibly go to and go, who am I? Who am I really? And I love that Joel has been able to provide that opportunity for people to explore that hypothetical.
Ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, that's another episode of the Kind of Funny podcast. You never know who might show up. If you love Troy Baker, we're about to record a Gamescast with him that will post Monday. You can catch that, of course, on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, podcast services around the globe. Remember, we couldn't do this without your support. So if you like us having a cool studio where our cool friends show up, go over to patreon.com/kindoffunny, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, Apple, Spotify, toss us $10. We give you everything we do. That's more than 80 episodes a month, ad-free. You get your daily dose of me, Greg Miller, in a 15 to 20-minute podcast. And of course, you get good karma for supporting an 11-year-old small business.
Wow. In 11 years.
That now has
This might be my favorite podcast episode I've ever been on.
Really?
Wow.
This was incredible.
Yeah, your daughter debuted.
It's just serendipitous in so many ways. Amazing, though. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for giving this to me.
Anytime.
Thank you, Kevin, for giving up your chair.
Yeah.
He was happy to. He was happy to. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.